live.
Hello, world.
Hey! More confusing space battle stuff.
Space battle! Well, we'll just go to show how poorly we are familiar with this to everyone in the world. So my name is, I'm a guest GM. I am not Commjunkee. So...
That's cheating, dude.
He is Junk Commie.
Yeah, I'm a Commjunkee. So you can blame me instead of the regular appearing GM for all the miscommunication and cluster that it will ensue inevitably.
Too late. I've shared the chat window to the stream, and in that it says our GM is late.
Arminsh. Yeah, so our regular scheduled GM is late, and I'm guesting. So.
You're a liar, Commjunkee.
Damn it.
Fake news.
Hashtag fake news. Alright, so, okay. To, as you guys recall, you guys had just gotten a chance to dock, disembark the shuttle when the klaxons went off, and Global, informed you guys that you are being targeted by hostile ships, hostile ships have appeared, and they seem to be coming at you. He did mention that the local patrol and system defense boat have exited the area and had been tracking another ship that had left the planet earlier. So they are not back. It's a trap. So for crew positions, now there are 2 NPCs filling in as gunners. They will have an effective skill of hold on, I got them here. Or do I? I don't.
Do you?
I will. So, Abe, you were going to be taking position in the med bay. Hank, currently I have you at comm ops, actually. And then Ella will be on the bridge assisting with commands. Buck and Eddie are currently in engineering. Eddie will be taking on task of repair team. Okay.
So is the chief engineer running engineering?
He's going to run engineering.
Okay.
And then
Buck will volunteer to run damage control.
Yeah, so you'll be running damage control, and Eddie will be assisting.
Great.
Eris, you are on sensors, and Armin, you can be doing damage control or take another turret, a gunning turret.
I have a co-pilot position.
Co-pilot.
I'll probably be a turret.
Your portrait does look like you want to shoot something.
So we have Dawes. Let's see. Where's my other gunner that was? Where's my photos for these guys? Great. Here we go. So you will also have Marco is one in the damage control party, and crewman Shirt is also piloting. Will be Lee, and some of the tasks out of the space combat that I thought were kind of neat were the comm officer giving a bonus, and if Ella has nav, rolling a tactical nav to give a bonus to piloting skill, and
You mean just regular navigation, or
so it's either it's going to be the lower of your. So I'm going to guess it's going to be space nav.
yeah, I've got space nav.
Okay, so if you use space navigation, and your rolls will affect give bonuses to the pilot as tactical navigation.
Right, so my rolls will give negatives because they always screw me over.
Oh well, then it just makes the fight more fun, right? Right. In the combat tracker is the ship. I will. So Lee's effective piloting score is 60. Ever at 16.
So Eddie, first space battle, huh?
Nope.
No.
Why aren't you wearing your vac suit?
Eddie was the first one to get in a vac suit.
Yeah, he did run for it. He did.
Okay, good.
Eddie was actually getting everyone else's vac suits while they were getting into their crew stations.
He put his vac suit on Fremen style.
No, he put it on in the no, I don't want to die style.
Ah.
Fremen style is naked underneath it, right?
No, that's commando.
I think Fremen do it commando. Which seems appropriate, really.
So you can absorb all that sweat.
So for your damage control party team stuff, you will have Eddie and Shirt to assist. So based on their assist rolls, we'll give you those bonuses into your repair rolls. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, only I don't want them to assist. I just want them to hand me things.
They're handing you stuff. So they're, hand me this hydro spanner, and he hands you the
No, the other one.
sonic. Yeah.
Alluvial dampeners.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I have missiles too. So Dawes will be taking the main turret. So he will take missiles. He'll take guns and missiles. Armin, there are 2 additional turrets. There are 3 additional turrets. You have a right side or port, starboard, or aft.
You might not have the skills for it.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, that's
looking.
a good-
I'm trying to figure out what it'd be.
Ooh, that's right. Maybe not.
So I might have to go to.
Dex -4.
Yeah, no, she's got gunner beams at 13. It looks like
Oh, that's
What would
perfectly
that be on?
respectable.
gunner beams.
It's on the Abilities tab and the Skills subtab.
I have beam weapons.
Nothing under
Under
Gunner.
Gunner.
Never mind. I just found it. I don't know why I was so hard.
Oh, good.
I'm just being an idiot, okay?
No, you're fine.
Don't be an idiot.
Eddie's also Villani, and if I
Don't be an
recall,
Eddie.
correctly, standard Villani practice is to depressurize the ship before combat.
Yes.
That's just good practice anyway.
Yeah, that's also Imperial military practice, which is how Elle is trained.
And how Glover is trained, who is actually the captain.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was her boss.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't think he was her boss. He was a friend
No?
of her dad.
Yeah, he was a friend of her dad's, but
Oh,
he's
okay.
the one that he's kind of, I guess, pseudo hired us for this.
Buck's understanding of the relationship is vague.
All right. So, under normal sequence of actions, there's going to be a detect comm phase. I will go ahead and, I have the space combat tasks in front of me too, so that's where I'm going to pull a little bit of my command tasks and motivate crew tasks and such. Because I think they're just pretty cool. I think they're just pretty darn cool, and they make sense.
So we're basically changing
Hybrid.
detection and communication phase is now the skill
Second.
phase.
It'll be kind of like, it'll be sensor tasks, if that makes any sense. But because I don't know all of them, and I'm only like kind of cherry picking right now, since they're NPCs anyway. So we will start with. I got to figure out where we're. All right. So.
You know, it'd be kind of nice, rule set wise, is to have a version of the notes, or specifically story, maybe that has a checkbox on it that, like, the GM can check off, and you can know which one you're on.
Couldn't the
Something like
GM just
that.
share it?
Well, I suppose you could just.
Then that would pop it up.
You'd have to share it every time, though. It's not terrible. Another way to do it is to make it an image and just put a token over it. Anywho.
Or you could edit it as you go. Put a little arrow.
Alright.
Image is probably the best way there.
So I'm trying to remember. Turn order goes in lowest to highest G, right?
Is it?
Well, everything happens basically at the same time, but like especially when you start getting the maneuver and but it starts with lowest to highest Excel. So
yeah, you're right. Because they have to make their declaration first, even though it all happens simultaneously.
Now, do we need to have the characters on the combat tracker? Can we get rid of them?
We can, if you'd like.
Just have the ships on there. Might be easier.
Yeah.
Because we'll be doing our own thing during each of these 20-minute turns. Doesn't matter what our basic speed is.
an easy way to get. Well, don't worry. You already started.
Well, I had considered leaving them in just so I knew I can make sure I get everyone done. But what I can do is just go by order of individual. So Armin, Eris, Buck, Ed, Eddie, and then detection communication. So, okay. So we've already started off in detection communication phase, and that's where you guys were able to detect the ships and their current position. So we've already made that roll. Eris has already made that roll, hence their positions plotted on the map. You made that roll by enough to position. Now, however, there was some bonuses for your sensors which weren't initially accounted for. So with that, you were actually able to get a little bit more information. So you were able to detect and identify, and you're able to identify these as Vargar Corsairs. They're about 400-ton Corsairs. Your database shows they typically have four turrets, I believe. They are not as armored as you, but they are battle capable. I think your DR is 100 and you have 70 hit points. They have DR 60 with 55 hit points, if that makes. So we will basically begin post the detection comm, and I will say in this phase, Global will make his leadership role to motivate Lee to get us the hell out of here, and he will one success. So, Ella, if you wish to do a tactical nav or a space tactics roll, you can either reduce a target's dodge by 1 or increase the pilot's piloting skill for all purposes as well. No, that would be for Ella. So Ella will provide another bonus to Lee, so that's a +2. Put that out here. Yeah, for the non-naval types, port is the same number of letters as left. So port and left are synonymous. Starboard and right are synonymous, and aft is the back end of your butt. And now you do have a 360 turret in the front. Now your turret, Armin, the side and aft turrets are equipped with pulse lasers along with sandcasters. For anyone in gunning positions or that would like to be in a gunning position, sandcasters are a one-time shot, and for that single round they increase your DR by 40. Any additional sandcasters in that same facing only increase by another 5. Pulse lasers are going to have a range of 2 with a max range of 6 hexes, but oh, that would be kind of neat. Give you just throw a mod somewhere. All right. So comms. If you're at comms, a task that Hank can perform is at any, you will be able to, you can supervise damage control by giving them a bonus.
Yeah, I've got the thing open.
Okay, so I will allow pretty much all those tasks, so you can jam them. Really, jamming is going to be pointless, and right now signal enhancements.
Well,
I guess
my question when it comes to the jamming is, do we have tactical or multi-purpose array? Because the depends on which set of stats we're using. It doesn't. Let me rephrase that. Spaceships is referring to tactical or multi-purpose arrays, and that is not in Traveller.
Right. Well, and what I could say, what I'm willing to say is, see, how about we go with some kind of weird hybrid in this case, just to make it easy, and say, if you have, we'll use. Yeah, well, I don't know how to answer that, to be honest with you. I would just say that we're using the sensor package on this is pretty much multi-purpose, but it is an ex-military vessel, so it's kind of hard to say unless they can have both. I don't know.
Yeah, being that this was a surplus military vehicle, it's not out of the question that it has a tactical comm array.
So I could see if he hadn't have succeeded where he's already at, unless there's a way to, we could say jamming could be you kind of blind their targeting, so give them a minus to their gunnery.
Well, that's not sensors. That's this is comm.
Okay, no, that's right. So you could enhance. You could basically turn the comms into an. Okay, here's what how does this sound? You can control the damage control party, so you can get that bonus, or you can kind of tune the comms as a alternative or an enhancement to the signal that Eris can use to either further get details or increase targeting for the ship and shit, or jam them. So you can give a bonus to your gunners. You can give a penalty to their gunners, and only one ship, because you're basically firing ECM kind of stuff.
Why would comm affect their gunnery?
Well, basically you're just kind of no. Your role would enhance his role. So you can either enhance the crew coordination as a comm officer, or enhance the sensor operator's role. Does that make sense? If he has penalties against their roles, you can kind of tune your comm array to help enhance whatever. I don't know.
Well, the way the jamming works is if I'm jamming, it's automatically successful within 1% of their communication range. And then if they are trying to beat that jamming, we do a contest.
Oh. Or you can use it against their missiles.
Maybe. Yeah.
You can basically make them dumb for a round.
Well, it depends on how they may not be actively. They may not be wire guided or transmission guided. What would you call that? Remote controlled?
They're either active sensing, remote piloted, and all missiles can be remote piloted. They generally considered that, but you can also, you can remote pilot them or kind of active sensing on their view. But I would say even if they're active guided, you could probably jam that signal and kind of make them go dumb for a turn.
Well, but again, that's sensors. That's not comm.
No, because sensors more passive. And you're more, well, I guess it would really kind of between the two, how we wanted to do that. Anyway.
Yeah, some of this is what Eris will be doing.
Okay. Right. So Eris has already done his detection for this round. Global's.
Unless the captain says otherwise, Hank's probably coordinating with Global right now, trying to get help.
Okay, so you're all right. So I will actually give me a comm.
But you don't need to make a roll for that.
However, you will find that your comms are jammed.
Oh well, that's another matter.
Oh.
So when you try and make your call to the surface, because Global will, one of the things Hank will know is, as you all remember, there are fighters on this planet's surface. So something that could occur is they could come and join you.
Okay, so that means I would make an electronic operation comms roll as a quick contest versus their electronic operations EW.
Yep, go for it.
I'm gonna go for that as soon as I can find the damn thing.
I wonder if that means we're being jammed from the surface, because the ships are way too far away for that.
You got any bonuses on that? Well, comms range is pretty far.
Well, yeah, comms range, but not comms jamming range.
Well, it depends on how far the comms actual range is, I guess.
Well, it's
I don't
logical
know.
to presume that the jamming's originating dirt side because, well, we know they had a presence there.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Let's see, range is 2.5 million miles.
Oh yeah, they're well within. What was 1% of that? So drop
Be
that
250,000 miles.
200.
No,
That's each hex is 10,000 miles. So
it's not 250. It's 25,000 miles. So a couple of hexes.
oh, I guess that's true.
2.5.
So yeah, you're pretty certain though that it's coming from the planet.
So be it. We're being jammed.
What flavor?
Raspberry.
I think it's shit.
The worst.
You had to know that was coming, right? Okay, so we'll go into. So we have all you guys good to go. Damage control tasks are unnecessary at this moment, as no one needs rescuing, repairs, or anything else. Gunners are probably well out of range.
By the way, is Abe still depressed?
He's in the med bay.
I mean, depressed. Like, he was depressed at the end of last session. Because of guilt complex.
He hasn't got time to be depressed.
Okay.
He's medicating his depression.
All right, starting with the lowest, so we'll go into maneuvering phases. Starting with the slowest to the fastest, you guys being last. In this case, we will go with them. Going to turn the ship counter to face any hex side. They're going to assume you're going to make some kind of run for it, so they will basically do that. Does that make sense? Yes. If desired. Okay, so that will be their maneuvers right now.
So as is.
As
They're
is.
They're not accelerating.
No, not at the moment. They'll slowly lose ground on you, of course, as you guys start to accelerate faster. So you're considered at 0. So pilot.
What is Global's orders here? Are we trying to just run the blockade or do anything fancy?
He told the pilot to get us out of here.
He was not specific as to how.
He's kind of trying to get to the probably the nearest one of the way. Yeah, it's basically he's threading the needle, and he's like, get us out of here, and if we can take one of those damn Vargar out with us, let's do so.
I can't wait to introduce him to Sai.
Question. Well, no, I'm not going to ask that. Well, yes, I am going to ask that. Engineering, can they boost the acceleration?
You can't take much more of this, Captain.
Sure, why not?
Well, for future note, we might not want to do it yet. So what are we just doing? Full burn, straight ahead.
Probably yes, full burn straight ahead. So I don't
What
know
were
if
you?
guys
3,
have that.
4, 4.
You are
We're 4.
at cell 4.
So we're going to be there.
Yep, that'll put us at 5. So yeah, exactly.
Okay, actually, just so you know, because of gravity wells, be there.
Right.
That makes sense.
Because the gravity will pull you 1.
How does that work?
Anytime you're in a gravity hex, you move into a gravity hex, you kind of move. We're just going to say the spin of the planet is that way. So you spin with it 1 for every space. So because you're considered in orbit.
Right.
Yeah, costs us a good bit of momentum to break orbit.
We could compensate for it, but it's probably not serving any purpose at this point. Actually, it may be helpful.
All right, so everyone's figured their mode
Well,
vectors.
yeah, we could accelerate 4 in the direction that gravity pushed us, actually, and end up going faster. If we went bottom left instead of straight through. But that's Global's call, not mine.
Well, we kind of are. Actually, I was thinking slingshot around the planet. That way they have to come after us, and then we slingshot around, and we're already way faster.
Yeah, but the first turn will take us out of the gravity well, so we only get the bonus once.
No, I mean stay in the gravity well, actually slingshot around the planet.
Yeah, but the gravity well is only 1 hex per turn.
I'm not
whereas we
saying
can accelerate by 4.
I don't mean get any speed out of the... I mean make them come to us over here, and then we shoot past them.
Oh, yeah, that is good.
Oh.
Admiral Hank.
One day, maybe. I'm still trying to figure out who he's going to be down the road. One day.
Okay, so we are going to go with, pick up spaceship counter and put a placeholder. The hex the ship counter was taken from.
Oh, right, yeah. That was always weird.
Oh, so...
Okay, I remember
okay.
how this works.
So that just basically the point kind of thing.
No, put it back where it was, because that's where the ship's going to go.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because that was the other thing. I was like, we have arrows, so that's kind of why I was like,
Right. So the way we ended up doing it last time is I'd draw an arrow like this. I put it there. Then I replaced the ship.
Yep.
All right.
Like that.
Right. So, and this could be in any order. So, So you were saying something like this, where you have
So
that.
yeah, put the tail where the head is. No.
Like that.
Yeah, so make sure they match up. Easy peasy. Oh, back up one. Nope, down.
There we go.
There you go.
Like so.
I've got that red counter there so that you can put it as a place marker for when you move.
All right. Oh, that'll work. All right, so maneuver phase.
And then you move the vector ahead, because unless something else happens, it's going to keep going the same way.
So everyone's we don't have to worry about gravity fields. Well, we did, but we've already taken care of that.
Did maneuver, did movement, we're on direct fire?
Are on direct fire. So
We don't have any missiles, do we?
yes, you do. Dawes has two. What is it? Two small two racks. So he will launch 2 missiles. One.
Also, max laser range is 6, right?
Yes, max laser range is 6. Half range.
So our
is,
starboard
or
and
half damage
universal
is 6,
can fire at Corsair.
Yep.
Corsair 2.
Correct.
Maybe the aft. What's the arc on the aft?
Aft arc is going to be not so much.
Ah, okay. If it's less than 180, yeah, no. Just starboard and
Aft
the
arc.
universal. So we have 2 turrets that can fire on Corsair 2. Woo!
3. You have 3. Well, 2. You're right. 2. Correct.
Right, but they're both way too far away for. Oh wait, you're talking about missiles.
No, they're at
Oh,
max
no.
range for lasers.
Are they?
Yeah. Max range is 6. So you have 2. Yeah, basically you're going to have. They're going to basically end up firing at you too. So, but you're going to be at max range. So, she took port. So, unless we just
She
went
was on the wrong side. Unless we flip over.
I can like quickly run to different turrets.
if you want to, why don't we just make you having?
We do have 20 minutes. She
Yeah.
could get up from one seat and go to the other.
Yeah, I don't mind, honestly. If to get you involved more, we'll just say that you were always in the starboard. You just couldn't get your left and your right on Navy terms. You said you were in the port, and the guy that's in the port one's like, "No, you're not."
That could work.
Where's my missiles? I actually had missiles somewhere. Hey, missiles! It's only 2. Alright, so in direct fire phase.
Did you add the missile tokens?
I added.
I don't remember them.
Yeah, because they act as their own little ships and stuff like
Right.
that. So when it's the spacecraft's turn to fire, resolve fire 1 gunner at a time. Each gunner decides for himself whether to shoot and what to shoot at. A single gunner can fire all the weapons in his turret or bay if he is at the turret or crew station. Fixed mount spinal. Nope, that's not the case. No one's got a. You don't have a gunner program. You can only fire at one target per round. May not split fire. Oh, no. Alright, so, Eris, since we'll go with you first, you will choose a target.
Choosing targets.
So, Eris, I am assuming your only target capable is going to be Vargur Corsair 2.
Excellent. He shall prepare to be gunnered.
Not Eris, Armin.
Oh. I was mildly confused, but I was
Quiet,
rolling
you.
with it.
That's because you guys have the stinking AR names, and it's confusing the snot out of me.
I told you. I told you.
Yes, you did, and I blame Ethan. I absolutely blame Ethan because it's not. She had her name long before he did.
I
So
didn't
you should
realize
just
her name.
call them Airman and Drone Boy.
Airman and Drone Boy.
Okay, whatever.
Or Jim. That would put him last.
Actually,
Boy.
I am to help you out.
Oh,
I'm
Jim.
going to go into your combat here for a second and put in a ranged attack mode.
Suppose you go army with him. Just call him Jelnin. Or Jill. Give him a nickname. Then you don't have to call him either one.
Drone Boy.
Huh. Oh, there it is. Sorry, give me a second. I'm gonna help her out or help you guys out by putting in the weapon stats. So.
Don't we already have that on the thing?
I thought I
Yeah.
did put it in there.
Well, it's on the spreadsheet.
Right. I just don't know if she's got the spreadsheet open.
Where's the spreadsheet?
I know that she does not because she's not on it.
Now,
And she just asked, "Where's the spreadsheet?"
And
you
there's
guys
that.
when you have two of the same weapon, is it 2 shots, or do you guys just resolve it as one with the full rate of fire?
I don't know how we've been doing that.
It depends. Are they linked or not linked?
I'm guessing they're on the same turret, so they can only fire at the same person.
It says I need permission.
Oh,
Paste your email in there and we'll get it shared to you.
In Classic, they're always linked.
Actually, put that in the TeamSpeak instead, just to be safe.
okay. Each direct energy weapon may fire only once during the phase. So I guess you can kind of swivel target. Is that point defense? Hold on.
So it's one roll. They either both hit or both miss, and there's sand.
Yeah, you may not split the fire of multiple direct energy weapons under his control. Direct fire, this represents the number of, so really, so would that be 2? I would guess they both have to be fired at the same guy, but they're considered 2 shots. That seems fair. Yes? No?
It sounds right.
Because each direct energy weapon is considered to have a rate of fire 20 based on that. So I will do it that way. Your skill is a 13, correct?
You talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Accuracy +2. Oh my goodness. You guys are just in a party over there in the chat.
Yeah, doing it without you.
Okay, so there you go. So in your range combat, you should see ship pulse laser at 13, accuracy +2, so you will get your accuracy bonus. So now you are going to have some modifiers for range. So wait, 6 hexes is a negative. Range modifiers is going to be a -17.
We are currently at 5.
Or 5, so -16. So you'll be a negative, actually, that will be a -14 if you include your accuracy.
Rate of fire.
20, recoil 2.
Right. What's the? I was thinking, what's the skills of the other shooters, the NPC shooters?
They Dawes has a effective skill of 14, and the other has an effective skill of 12.
Loki needs to know her range disadvantage.
-14. So total.
And the accuracy was.
Well, okay. Well, it's actually a -16 with an accuracy of +2.
So total of -14 is your roll against your skill.
Correct. So if you just in that little modifiers put in.
Rate of fire is going to be +4.
Yeah. So.
Oh, good point. So -10.
So -10. There's really
you did
aiming. Yeah, it's considered aiming. You're basically
you have 20 minutes. It takes 1 second to aim.
Yeah, it's a little more abstract in space combat. So you get your aim, but you get basically like 20 shots. But
Well, we are at extreme range here. Was that 10,000 miles per hex?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You're shooting
We're
like
at extreme range.
Extreme. You're like shooting from here to the moon, or just about.
You're going for a miracle.
No, it's not that far.
Well, yeah, you're short. The moon is 24 hexes. These are just under that. Yeah.
Yes, it is possible to hit.
You can get.
If you roll very, very low, you will hit.
It's lasers, so there's no ammo to bother about. So you might as well.
And the sandcasters are, sand, glass.
It's the gunner beams, right?
Gunner beams.
Yep, that's the one.
Well, if you click on that, Well.
Ooh, good roll though.
It's not bad.
Really
missed, but good roll.
Yay.
And you can actually, if you go to your range combat tab, where it says pulse laser, ship pulse laser, now roll again because you have 2 shots. You have
now,
2
I'm
pulse
wondering,
lasers per turret.
because we probably have a
Holy
gunner.
smokes!
Wait, I forgot to add the modifier.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
We probably have a gunner program on here. I don't know if that's already taken into account or not.
Gunner programs.
Oh, he said we didn't.
Gunner program. Well, you probably do, but gunner programs, and this is something I'll have to figure out with you guys later. Take the place of a turret or turret gunner. So
Oh,
not a gunner program, a targeting program.
Predict
yeah.
is what they called it in Classic.
That's right. Oh, targeting system +2. So you add a +2. I'm
There
sorry.
you go.
Everyone has an extra +2 to their hits, to their shots.
We'll get there.
So you still miss, but everyone's going to have +2 for their accuracy of the weapon, +2 for the ship's targeting system, but negatives for extreme ranges right So Dawes will make his shot.
You should assign those to PCs, to
I can.
players.
Hold on.
Otherwise, it's you're making way too many rolls.
Yeah, that's true. Give me 1 second. Like I said, I'm so sorry. This is so. I have those as beam lasers on his, right?
It's alright, it'll be over soon.
Hopefully.
So, what is Dawes rolling, or what weapon is he using?
He's got missiles and beams. His skill level, effective skill level, is going to be 14.
And that's the front turret, the 360 one?
It's basically the top turret. Yes, the 360.
Is it the beam
top,
laser
gotcha.
or the pulse laser?
He's got beams. And it should be TL11 beams, I believe.
And
Yeah,
you said he has a 14?
Yep.
I'll roll off of his.
Godspeed.
So -8. And he gets two rolls, you said?
2 shots. Yep.
Wow, they're both the same.
Here.
You had one job.
And he will launch 2 sets of missiles.
How does that work? Does he have to make any check there?
No. He makes the missile check, as far as I know, happens once the missiles reach the target. Missiles have I have the stats here somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't roll till they're about to hit.
And they are ugly when they do hit.
Yeah,
so
I remember that.
Yeah, getting hit by missiles really, really bad.
One
they have
missile
acceleration
per
8.
missile rack.
Yeah, so he fired 2. You basically just launch them. So that's why I have a cluster to designate multiple.
So they are supposed to be in the same hex as us.
To start, yes.
And missiles also get a vector token and stuff.
Yeah, they'll be on a separate vector. They'll start in our hex, but they'll have a totally different vector.
We'll let Brian handle the missiles.
Good idea.
You're the missile man.
If it helps, I'm going to turn off. Will it help if I turn off Snap to Grid?
No, I think Snap to Grid is better in this case.
Okay. So just they have an acceleration of 8. I don't know if you can see the rules on. If you want their stats, they're on page 226, just above the charts and tables.
So they start in our hex, and their vector token starts in our vector tokens hex, but adjusted by +8 toward target.
Well, no, because he can swivel that turret to face them. They are on the turret.
That handles the facing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. I gotcha. Okay. They do some massive damage when they hit. Okay, so
If they hit.
They would probably
It's a big
want to have
hit.
a vector token like that.
They can also be targeted by gunners at a huge
Yes,
negative.
Yeah, they and they can, when they get closer, you can do point point defense. So
I believe point defense is why we've never actually been hit by them.
Yeah, that missile
Yeah, that was the
vector,
Emerald Monarch, though.
I think it wants to be like that.
No, that's not the way they're facing.
Yes, but they should have been fired backwards.
Not necessarily. Well, I guess that's the gunner's decision. Who fired him?
That would be Abe.
Yeah, Abe is standing in for that gunner.
Okay.
So which... You want to point him backwards then?
I have no idea.
You're better off pointing him backwards.
We'll point him backwards. Or near enough.
That's fun with these enemy missiles here. Eris, give me a detect roll.
Another one?
Detect being electronic operation sensors.
Yes.
Detecting electronic operations.
All right, you detect a bunch of small originating from the enemy ships.
Now,
they've
would that
launched
not
missiles.
happen on the next detection phase? Or are we already there?
Oh, I guess that would be
Well,
soon enough.
I guess that's actually all we're doing anyway. Apparently we're on the next round.
What?
Yeah, because we did direct fire and everything after that. Point defense, collision, launch and docking, damage control, none of that matters right now.
Did the second other gunner get to engage as well?
Negative. He's not in.
Okay.
All right, so this is where things are going to get crazy. Right. I have no idea how these missiles are going to work. Anywho, I'll just kind of follow along with what you guys do. All right, so you have you detect 6 small targets originating from Corsair 1 and 6 additional targets from Corsair 2. Obviously, based on size, you're pretty certain and speed, they are going to be missiles. Missiles will go.
Are the missiles going active?
What do you mean by going active?
Are they homing actively, or are they being remotely controlled? That is, if they are homing actively, that means they're emitting.
Oh, actually, missiles. Yeah, missiles will come after.
Missiles are generally last, I think.
Yeah, missiles. So they would be last. So
because they're the
would be this
fastest.
round. Missile launch. A ship may launch 1 missile per missile rack. So boom, 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 boom. So we have 6 out, 2 out. And 1 salvo will usually not be launched until the previous salvo has reached its target. Newly launched replacing the same hex as launching spacecraft with any desired facing.
Yeah.
Of movie
So
scenes.
have triple missile turrets.
Yes, they do.
Of movie scenes, I think it's the missile scene at the start of I think it's Behind Enemy Lines.
I don't think I ever watched that one.
Sounds familiar, but I can't picture it.
It is an awesome scene.
Okay.
Never
So
mind.
something about the missile vector. The missile vector counter is placed in the same hex as that of the launching spacecraft, facing the same direction as the missile's spacecraft counter.
Well,
So
okay.
they can face anywhere, but the vector is going to be facing in the same
Well,
direction.
the starting
Yeah,
vector
that's right.
is now that they can turn all the way around whenever it comes time to their acceleration. So honestly, it doesn't matter.
So all that's gone. We don't have anything in that phase. Back to detect and all that fun stuff. So we will go ahead and do global. Will once again try and. I must have grabbed your text. Global will do a leadership role to all gunners to say keep those missiles off us. So everyone will get a plus 1 task against shooting missiles.
You didn't say
Ella.
whether they were. You didn't say whether the missiles were going active.
I guess they would be. So they're going to show up on your screens. Yes, we'll say they go active. They're being well. They are being guided.
So remote.
Well, Eris picked him up, so that
Yeah.
he was detecting their
Well, you could
active.
you could detect the launch, but if they're not actively homing, then they're not shooting off their own radar.
He was detecting them as entities, so they're
Yeah, you pretty much
They're live.
You guys know that you have missiles in the air based on size. He's detected them as based on size and number is all he's got.
But they may
Based on his
say a missile can be homing actively or passively or being remote controlled.
Right.
If it's homing actively, that means we can detect its transmission
Right.
and potentially jam it.
Well, you're
If the missiles have a gunner, then chances are they're going to be passively controlled. Because it's more beneficial that way.
You mean remote
Yeah.
controlled?
Well, yeah, remote controlled.
So they do have a gunner. All right, so we go. So gunners will gain a bonus to shooting down missiles, a +1. So if the missiles get within point defense range, all gunners will gain a +1. Ella, what would you like to do? Would you like to increase the ship's ability to dodge, motivate a crewman, increase somebody's effective skill at a particular task?
It is entirely possible that we could be hit by those missiles this round.
Increase. You can also increase your vehicle's dodge by 1, or decrease the enemy's dodge by 1.
I would like to increase our ship's ability to dodge if I can.
Roger. Give me a navigation space or tactics roll. All right, so you will have an effective dodge of +1. I'm sorry, we will call that a +3.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that takes care of all our leaders and such sensors.
Ella is probably the most experienced barger fighter on the ship.
Well,
Sensors
yeah,
has
per
been done.
her backstory, but
Yeah.
that doesn't really translate to a skill.
Comm tasks. What would you like to do, Daniel? Would you like
At
to?
this point, Hank would probably be attempting to coordinate the gunners.
All right. Electronic comms. Or spacer.
Then Spacer.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. It is the lower of your electronic comms or spacer.
Damn you.
Sorry.
Man.
Trying to tease me.
I am a tease.
Well, I didn't
Alright.
make it worse.
Well, your success is +1 to the gunners. You have patched them in very well.
I love that
Now-
F-18 scene.
So
Okay.
how's that gonna apply?
We'll call it a +1 to the gunners for all gunning tasks.
Gotcha.
He's calling out targets, vectors, etc., tying them together, whatever. So we'll give it
Ignore
an
the
overall
ships,
+1.
shoot the missiles, that kind of thing.
Well, you can actually do both. So even in the same round, you can shoot at the ships and then still do point defense.
Oh.
Yes.
Ella's
20-minute
screaming, but
rounds.
I'm relaying. I'm a midshipman. Actually, I guess Global's yelling. Ella's yelling. Hank is translating.
Ella's directing her comms directly to the pilot. Global's directing it to the gunners, and Hank is relaying Global's stuff and sensor inputs from Eris. All right, so now maneuver phase, starting with the slowest to the mostest. So I pick a turn ships to face any hex side. Turn vector counter. Vector counter. Oh no.
And then you accelerate from the vector counter.
So vector counter will accelerate 2 or 3. That makes sense? No, that's the wrong
Does it?
one. That's the missiles. That's the missiles, right? So there.
Ah, okay.
So before you pick up the vector counter, you should drop down a placeholder.
Oh, okay.
Because you need to draw a line through the placeholder.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I moved that guy one. Should be there. Gotcha.
Right. Yeah.
Alright, so my vector counters are done. Now we don't do missiles until missiles, right?
Right. Right, we need to do us. So what are we doing? Are we just continuing to accelerate?
You're gonna try and either engage or they're gonna
Global gave the call to burn the hell out of here, so I'm presuming we're just burning out in a straight line, or are we changing
he said,
direction?
Get out of here, and if we can, take one of them with us.
Okay, so we're gonna go 4 more.
Puts us to 9.
Like so?
Well, we're not affected by the gravity well anymore, so.
Right.
No, yeah, that's true. Yes. So you can, well, right. That is
Yeah,
correct.
so those are
because
placed.
because you're still kind of got a little bit of torque on you. You're not being torqued any further.
So do we go ahead and move the missiles now, or do we move us and then do the missiles?
We move the ships. It happens in order of speed. So missiles have 8G, so they go last.
Right, but do we do their vectoring now, or
Yes.
do we move
Yes.
ourselves and then do the vectoring?
It's all part of the movement phase.
Hack. Whoops.
Skull.
So
Dude.
that means
How
we've
did that
got
happen?
our missiles are here. Those are going after Corsair 2, so they're going to point.
That's where the missile vector was.
No, that's not really where it was.
Missile vector would have remained pointing in the same facing as your ship.
Right.
But the missiles can face anywhere.
Can they? Can you turn? How can you turn mid acceleration?
Yeah, that's decided by your vector.
No, I mean the thing is, it's not a straight. It's not the target isn't a straight along that line. I need to go to the right a bit. You go 2 forward and 1 to the side. I can't remember if you can do that.
Hexes. If desired, move the vector counter to a new hex. The distance that the vector counter may be moved depends on the direction in which it is moved. If the vector counter's new position will be in the front arc of its old position, it may move a number of hexes up to the ship's acceleration round down. Otherwise, it may move a number of hexes up to half the acceleration round. So, if the vector is within the same facing, it can move up to its movement.
I think the deal is it's going to cost double.
If it's outside of the facing, it's going to cost half, or you can only move half.
So the missiles will intersect.
For my missiles to come at you,
It's the same deal, looks like.
and 1.
So we are
They would
going to be there.
Yeah, and his facing would have.
No, he won't.
They can. It's his facing would have been the same when they launched. His launched facing that way. The vector that way.
That's our location. That's where we will be.
No, that's not where we'll be.
Yeah, actually, he's right. Because remember, you're still countering some torque on your ship from that from the planet.
Are we? Thought you just said we weren't.
That was last turn.
Well, you won't be.
You draw a line through your placeholder.
No, but we're not still going there. We've accelerated.
Yeah, and that happens next turn through.
No. When we're doing the maneuver phase now, and we go to the movement phase, we will be at the new point where I'm pointing there.
Well, okay. So you're okay, and yeah, no, I think Brian is correct because you are still facing some lateral movement, but you would have to still burn out.
No, okay. What is the sphere of influence?
The sphere. Okay, so the sphere of influence on the planet was only in that circle. Now here's
then
the
we're
thing.
not in it.
Well, no longer. But remember, think of it as you haven't done anything to count. Now you can.
Yes, we are. Okay, I see where the problem is. We are countering that.
Yeah,
we have accelerated. We have accelerated that way.
A little bit, yes, and that's what you're doing.
Which is why we are in the spot as indicated, or will be.
Right, if that's what you're, but that's what I mean is.
So
you
we
can't be there.
We will not be. We will not be there.
Right. If you had not maneuvered left or right to counter this,
right.
Then,
well,
correct.
Or whatever.
At least, yeah. So the missiles still should be able to reach where you're going to be for that one.
That's true either way.
So you're going to have...
Their missiles can reach us regardless of that 1 hex difference quandary.
Okay, so their missiles are starting there and pointing that way.
Well, it would have been...
Said 8?
8.
Yeah, that's 7 movement points to get to there. And they will be pointing up. So they're good to go.
Yep. So we're going to be relying on point defense.
And same with that other missile.
So this guy... Crap. Running out of thingies. So he's starting that. He's starting there. Pointed that way.
Well, he actually would be pointed the other way, because remember the ship was only turned 1. So as the missiles are pointed was how the facing of the original ship was.
Right.
Wait, did I just move?
What would be the best way to... Probably that way. 1, 2, 3... I don't think they're quite going to reach.
Well, let's see. Because if it's there, it's 8 move.
Because they're having to move mid... They're having to turn mid-move also.
Well, that's 8 yards from that spot.
Right, but you can't go straight that direction.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Can only get... What?
Well, I mean, does it have to be facing an actual hex side?
And it has to just be facing the forward, you know.
Well, I mean, the tokens have to be... Do they have to be facing a hex side? Can they not be?
No, they have to have a facing.
So it's going to have to turn. Yeah, which I'm assuming at this point that you'd use the lateral. So you're going forward like 3 there or something like that. And then you got double cost the other direction. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, they kind of dumb it down and say if you're not going to be in the forward arc, you're going to be at you're going to be half move. So that forward arc, then I guess you wouldn't be in. He would be at double move, right?
It's
so
not.
He'd only get forward.
It's not targeting. It's acceleration.
Right, but that's what I mean. Is it says though?
Hold on.
Yeah, it does say that if.
Oh, that's odd.
If the vector counter's new position will be in the front arc of its old position, it may move a number of hexes up to the ship's acceleration rating round down. So 8. So no, it can't do that. Otherwise, it may move a number of hexes up to half the acceleration round down. So in this case, it can only move 4. So it can move towards you, but it will not. It will only get 4 along the way.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Really, it's only going to get about there at this time.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. Did we end up moving the wrong ones?
Friendly missile vector. I have the pistol as the enemy missile vector. So enemy Corsair vector 2. So here's an issue that you're gonna have if you guys. Okay, so if you fired it that way, so it was fired in the same vector as your ship, so your missiles could converge on Corsair 2.
Right, they were already there.
Yeah, but yeah, so because even though they were fired kind of backwards, or that's where they're going to be, at the end of this movement.
Yeah, no, that token was already there. Somebody moved it off.
Right.
Okay, so where did 2's missiles end up?
Four there, and facing
Okay.
that way at the end. So
I think we're done. Finally. Better put that back.
all right, so maneuver phase done. Ships movement, because it goes ships.
So here we go on this again.
So movement. It can go in any order. Now here's a question. Now, if he accelerated 3, okay. No, I guess no. So he would end up there, right?
Okay, how did Corsair 2 end up way up there?
Because he changed
Oh,
direction.
that's the
Corsair 1.
new vector, not the old vector.
Yeah. So
Oh, you didn't move his token. Where is he supposed to be?
supposed to be there, as far as I understand.
2.
Oh, 2. 2 hasn't moved yet. His token is.
Yeah.
So we are still in the maneuver phase, right?
What happened? Oh, that's what I removed. I removed Corsair 2's vector token.
He was going to be hit by our missiles. Damn it, where'd the missile one go?
That's right. It's should be right there. Where? Wait, are you guys there, or are you?
Oh, you know what? I just moved the wrong damn one.
Oh, you were supposed to move there. You moved where Corsair 2
Hold on, I'll fix this.
I wonder if we can use layers here. Set it to layer 2 for the vectors and.
Okay, let's try this again. Is that one us?
So where have you rolled back to?
Back to where we started.
So the color hexes should be removed.
Okay, well, ours is straightened out. Where's our missiles? So those needed to be there.
Remember, when you move the ships or you move the missiles, you've got to put a placeholder where the ship was.
Oh, I see what you're doing. No, I used the arrow for that.
Oh crap! Okay.
Though I am starting to wonder if it wouldn't be slightly easier to not have snap to grid on.
So are you tracing the line from the placeholder through the ship or missile token to place the vector?
Yes.
No, I don't. Oh. Who are you asking?
Whoever's doing the moving.
So I'm just trying to get where the new vector is going to be placed. Yeah, it's not, you know.
So here's how I do the new vector thing. And that's not our vector, but draw the arrow like so. Move the arrow. Ship goes to the base. New vector goes to the head.
Yeah, I guess that works.
All right, so then we go to direct fire. Missiles and maneuvering can only maneuver if it's currently under direct control of the gunner. It must be within communication range of the ship, which it is. Control must be handed off from one ship to another, so 2 can. Movement phase. We've already done that. Now, this would still be in collision, right? Because now we're worried about missiles and
Yes.
such. Or do missiles come later for collision purposes?
I believe they come in the. I believe it is the collision phase for. No,
Well,
right.
here's what's
No.
odd though, because you're gonna have
point defense and collision.
Oh yeah. Point defense, then ramming. So they're basically considered trying to ram you. Okay, so maneuver is done. Direct fire. So.
You should do this in order of the tracker for simplicity.
So, Armin, you have, let's see, he is outside your firing arc for Varger 2. So you will not be able to shoot at him. He will be out of your, now you can target the, can you, I guess you can direct fire at the missiles that are, because she's still gonna, you're gonna still get point defense, right?
I think the deal was you can only shoot the missiles when they're in your hex.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. So Armin, you will pass. Actually, go ahead and give me a. Actually, go ahead and roll for me because I've got. You got the second gunner. Or let's see, Armin. Yeah, you do have a. There should be a third gunner. Eddie. Ha. Do you have any gunning skill?
No.
So, because you have, I keep forgetting you have 4 gunners. Now you have somebody in your rear arc.
What would be the modification thingy?
So range is 4 hexes.
Does Hank have gunnery? Or gunner?
He
Maybe
does.
he could be in the aft guy.
So 4 hexes is still going to be a minus 16 for range. You're still
What's
over.
2?
2 is going to be a minus 14. Wow, they really do kind of hammer you on ranges with this.
Yeah. Well, again.
You're talking like planetary, yeah, shooting it across the size of a planet, you know, times 4 or times 2.
So minus 14?
You will fire at a minus 14 off of a skill of 12, but you're going to have a bonus to your, so you'll have basically an upward bonus of 4, 2 plus 2 for the accuracy, 2 for the targeting, plus 1 from Hank's coordination for just straight up targeting. So you'll have a plus 5.
9?
Yeah, so you're rolling on a scale of 9 basically. So yep,
No,
or
plus 9.
Plus 9 minus 14, so minus 5.
Minus 5.
What?
Right?
Oh. Did they do size mod?
Yes, you've got to add the size mod of the ship.
Oh, so dang it. Well, so size mod of the ship is going to be 8. This is so 8.
We're
So,
also 400 tons.
plus
So that
3
should
then.
be nothing.
You guys are actually, that's weird. You're a size mod 9, but they show size mod 8. I wonder why that is.
I thought we were both 400 tons.
That's what I mean, is why am I showing 2 different size mods? I'll call it 8 across the board.
User error.
That's could very well. I think your stats are more accurate than theirs because I had to kind of peel away Corsair data out of a 3rd edition book. I think it was. So plus 9 because 4th edition rules are different, obviously.
Not with regards to size mod.
Are they okay? Because I pulled the Vargur Corsair out of the Vargur book. It had a size mod of 8, and you guys, based on the calculations when I built when I put it all together, had a size mod 9. I don't know why there would be a difference.
Right, you built the Pilgrim from scratch, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it was 400 tons.
It depends on the style of
Hull,
the ship.
Yeah, it is the hull shape and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that does affect. I remember that because
So if you're
plus atmospheric and all that kind of stuff. So you basically, yeah, all right. So that would be why the difference.
Let's see. So her roll was without the size mod, so that would have been plus 8 from there, which means she made it by 4.
So
Which
2 hits.
Which is
2 hits.
2 or
hits.
3?
Rate of fire 2. So 1
Yeah,
plus
3.
Well, I thought it was every factor. Yeah, 3 hits because every factor of 2. So 3 hits. So roll me damage 3 times.
What about does he get a dodge? How does that work?
Well, yeah, he does get a dodge. Vehicle dodge.
Twice more?
That is a lot of 1s and 2s. Yeah, roll again. Better.
Did he fail his dodge though?
He failed his dodge. I mean, dodge is like half move.
Nice.
So, yes. So you will. Okay. So.
Plus the
so
plus the stability, I think, of the ship or handling of the ship.
Yeah, they're 0. I think yours is a -1. Let's see. All right. So the first is 12. So you're.
You can still use that spreadsheet for that. You don't want to try to calculate those out, yeah.
Can you throw me that real quick? I need to create multiples of these or multiple windows open. Armor divisor is 5. Modifier is. What is wound mod? Oh, 1. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to change.
So DR60. Total injury. The first one is going to be 12. So that won't penetrate. The second will do 9 hit points. And the third will do 9 hit points. So 9 points, 9 points.
So is that is the hit points accurate?
Correct. So it should
okay,
be.
So
yeah.
no major wounds, just a couple of picks.
Yeah, so you kind of ablated some of the hull away. That would be a total of 18.
Good shot.
Thanks.
Okay, where does it do the the remaining? Okay, 37. That was against Vargur 2-1, right? 1.
Is Dawes able to engage him with the
He can
beam laser?
engage. He can engage either target.
I suppose if you need to, Mark, you can make a
engage
copy of that tab and use it for the other one.
There it is.
Holy smokes.
figures.
Okay, that does a lot of damage, just so you know. So maximum 3 hits and a maximum of 1 hit. So, and this is at which one? Corsair 1. So, Armin, who was that against? By the way, was that Corsair 1 as well?
Yeah, you were having her have the other guy shoot.
Oh, right. So he's probably closest. So he needs to dodge or get really messed up.
That's going to be
Okay,
2 dodges then.
Okay, so it's gonna be 2. So the first one, so each margin of success is a 1 additional miss, right? So
Right.
if I have a margin, okay, so the first attack he'll dodge, but he gets hit by 1 instead of 3. And the second one, he will fail by 1, so he'll do 2 total hits.
Big numbers.
First one,
Oh,
let me know when you're done, and I'll do the second one.
Okay, that'll be effective 18 points. Go ahead. And second,
Nice.
Consistent.
So
good results.
he is now down to 1 remaining hit point. Now, isn't there a rule that anything that gets past DR, and how do they do that with?
You put those on the. Oh, right. They're both at the same target.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Okay, so none of those are a major wound.
I thought that anything that penetrated.
You still need to do occupants, passengers and occupants, as per normal. Except the damage is multiplied by 10.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, I've seen The Expanse. Dude gets hit by a stray round.
Well, that doesn't get applied directly to the individuals. That just means it counts for more, so it's got the potential to do more. So the actual injury result, we've got. You say it was times 10?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Anything that gets better is going to times 10.
Okay, so that's like 90 points, 90 points, and 180 points, and 180 points. So 1d every 5 points of that.
How many occupants are there?
I'm looking that up right now. I got to pull up my.
It's looks like it's basic 3 or 555, and you said we're +8.
Yes. So +8. I just
Plus 9.
figure out the.
They were +8. We were +9.
Yeah.
Well, but I shot him, so +8. Actually, Armin shot him. Well, not Armin, but the other guy shot him too.
Hold on. Let me pull up my. Sorry, I thought I had my Varger book open. They have how many people on this ship? It is. The Varger Corsair has 24 crew. Ish. So we'll go with 20.
So we need to roll an 8 or less in order to actually hit an occupant.
Okay, Armin, go ahead and roll 3d6. Well, somebody's dying in that crew. Roll me another one. Holy cow, you're killing their crew.
Right, and I get 2.
Yep, and you get 2.
Hey, we got 3 crew.
3
All
crew
right,
just
now how
died
did
on
that
ship.
work?
I'm not worried about actual damage. I'm just going to say, 3 crew
Well,
in their
the
ship
way-
is now.
1D cutting per full points.
How many? 5?
It says 1D cutting damage per 5 full points of penetrating damage in
Right.
the vehicle sustained.
Right, so
Rolled randomly for
18d6,
hit
18d6, 36d6, 36d6. But the question I had was... Damn it, I lost my place. It says to spread them out.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to see. Hold on. We got a captain, a pilot, a sensor operator, 4 gunners, 2 engineers, a gig pilot, and a bunch of troops. So you're probably twice as likely to hit crew as you
Somebody
are.
took that.
That someone just died.
What the hell?
Damn it. Oh, right. If occupant damage exceeds 4D, the GM may opt to divide it among multiple occupants in 4D increments.
Lots and lots of. You're probably fired into the crew compartment or.
So that would be
And they're double on, so.
potentially 4, 4, 8, and 8 occupants.
So 24 crew, or total 24. But they do double occupancy, so so 10 would be actual crew. So or yeah, they call it 1 captain, 1 pilot, 1 sensor comm officer, 4 gunners, 2 engineers, 1 gig pilot, and they go double occupancy and pack up to 24. So 4 would be ground troops? That doesn't make sense. So really, I wouldn't even say that gig pilot's is probably not a double occupancy billet. So
How do I do a 1D24?
I don't think you can. I guess you could do a D12 and a D2. What kind of armor are they probably wearing? Are they going to be
Not-
space armor or next level down? Probably armored back suit.
probably just
You'd have to do a D12 and a D4 minus 2.
46 on average is going to be 14 points, which is not going to penetrate an armored back suit.
Screw that. I did 110 to one guy and 123 to another guy. I killed him.
So give me your what is that? You said a D20 plus D4 minus 4.
Minus 2.
Minus 2.
Well,
D20?
No, D12 and a D4 minus 2.
You just coin flip it. So 1 on the D2 is the first 12, and 2 on the D2 is the second 12.
So you killed a troop for the first one. So one of their just ground troops died.
I think you should roll the random hit, because that would make it a lot more interesting.
Oh! You killed their captain. 4? No, you killed one of their pilots.
Someone's
Apparently minus 2, right?
Because 3, 4, -2, that would come up as 2. If I count, you killed you killed their pilot.
Shiny.
Now they're double billeted, but
Ah!
Someone lost their right arm, and the other person was hit center mass by
that
some
would have been the
debris.
pilot.
He was seared to perfection.
Yeah, this works both ways, people.
All right, so Armin,
If our
give me a
pilot dies,
D12
then
and a
Ella can take over
D4.
and drive.
Did Armin get through? Armin got through both of hers.
I got through twice too. I just should have gotten through like 4 times, 5 times.
So give me a D12 and then follow that up by a D4 there, Armin. Yeah, you just have to roll one at a time. So that would be an auxiliary got wasted. And next.
I did something, right?
Yep, you did something. So the shot that you fired that went through the hole, somebody on the inside just got vaporized.
Yeah, buddy.
And one more time. Same thing. 1d12, 1d4.
Really, if it were Star Trek, he just had a panel blow up in his face, and he flew around the bridge a little bit.
For narrative purposes, someone should describe how it is that these people got injured.
You just took out one of the gunners. Alright. So you've got your 2 shots, his 2 shots. Can someone roll me 2 shots at the rear guy? It's going to be a +8. Wait.
Who's firing from the rear one?
It's going to be, we'll call it Marco. Why not?
All right, that one's at range 4 instead of range 2. How many? How much worse is that?
So he's going to be at a total of +13 -3 on a roll of 12.
Is that right?
Because it's -16 for range, and then +8 for its size, +5 for all
Said
your
-3?
-3.
This is the beam laser or the turret?
This is a
pulse.
pulse. So it's a pulse, double pulse. Now,
what does it do damage-wise? Is this the 5D?
Oh, you know what I forgot to... one thing I forgot is all your sandcasters that you're probably chucking out there, giving you an extra 40 DR.
Well, we haven't shot yet.
Right.
And these Corsairs were so focused on being aggressive that they forgot.
Anyway, yeah, they loaded all their turrets with lethal stuff.
I don't even...
That was a lot of missiles.
Yeah, it is a lot of missiles.
Said...
Actually, they don't have sandcasters. Ooh. So it doesn't matter. You guys can. So before you guys roll, just I'm assuming that the starboard or the port and aft are tossing a sandcaster load into this as well.
Wow, he apparently couldn't do crap.
Now, what was the penalty difference between hexes?
So for range?
Yeah. So we went from 2 to 4.
2 is a minus 13, I believe. Minus 14. So minus 4 to 5. 4 to 5 is minus 16. 2 is a minus 14.
You said minus 3, so I just rolled a minus 3 against it.
Yeah, and that's correct.
Because we had a
He
total.
didn't hit.
We had a total of plus 3 at 2. At range 2.
Because you would have been at a 14 mod 8 gives you a 6. That's fine. I'm not too worried about it because I think because it's a 14.
He missed anyway.
Yeah, he missed. He would have missed anyway. So it is their shots at you now. I'm assuming all gunners have fired sandcasters that can.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll get a plus 40 DR in each of those affected arcs. Okay, so their turn to retaliate. Now, they don't get any penalties because everything's considered simultaneous.
How is Laser's armor divisor affected by that? Is it
It's
just treated normally?
5. Yeah, it's 5. Yeah, exactly. It's
I mean,
3.
on sandcasters.
It's the same. So you just basically increase your DR by 40 for that round, and then divide by 5. They don't have any other, they don't have any other kind of a modifier for that. I think sandcasters do help against missiles, or at least the damage of a missile.
No, they can be used as point defense, I believe.
That was where things got a little ambiguous, but I'll get to that in a moment. So hold on. Here we go. So here comes some shots your way. You are size 9.
Did I mention that Eddie is hiding in the ship's vault?
It's
You're
very
in the
small.
freezer. In the freezer, right?
That's it, the freezer.
The walk-in.
Because they're indestructible.
Eddie's in the walk-in. Nice. Eddie, hand me that spanner. Eddie. Where's Eddie?
I need the
Freezer door opens. What do you want?
Well, if he's in his spacesuit, he's probably not cold.
True.
Yeah, except Eddie doesn't have an armored space combat armor. He's wearing a vac suit.
All right, I'm going to need at least 1 dodge.
God help us.
I'm going to need at least 2 dodges. They have triple turrets.
How many turrets do they have?
4, but they can only bear. I think they can only bear 2 on you.
Oh, but they had 3 missile turrets.
Yeah, they have.
So they just have the one
triple missile turret.
Okay, so what it is they have 4 turrets, 2 with triple lasers, 2 with triple missiles.
Oh, okay.
My misunderstanding.
Yeah, 4 turrets, 2 with triple laser, 2 with triple missiles. So basically, yeah, they can get 6 missiles, but they're not going to be able to bring to bear all their, or they can only bring one turret to bear on weapon or gun turret.
What is our dodge?
Our dodge is going to be a bonus of 1. I don't know if I've shared the. Your dodge is going to be a 9, based on Ella's bonuses to you.
So that's a 9 plus 3 or a 9 with her plus 3?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's going to be. You're right. You did hit a plus 3, not a plus 1. So it's an 8 plus 3.
Oh,
11. Okay. All right, who's doing it?
Not
I think Ella should do it. She's telling him what to do.
And the one behind you.
Have you
is so
seen
far...
her dice?
I don't want to do it.
Are you scared?
Are you?
So the ship behind you is wholly and
Yes.
completely ineffective at shooting at you guys. You don't have to dodge that, but you're going to have to dodge. If you don't dodge, you'll take a maximum of 3 hits. If you do dodge, it depends on the first one is going to be maximum of 2 hits. The second one's a maximum of 1 hit. So, ooh, look at that.
There.
All good.
So that one
Yay!
will dodge both hits. I need one more at a +3.
That was bad.
There's
But
my
at least
dice.
that was
So
only
many 5s and 6s.
that was only the one hit though.
Oh yeah, well yeah, you only had it. Yeah, so exactly. So you're going to take 25 points of burn damage, which I think equates to with a DR 100. Yeah.
Alright,
yeah.
so we got the
Sandcasters.
extra.
That's gonna. Okay, so nothing's gonna get through. Because you have it's 25 even at a 5, so you're at 140 divided by 5 is. I can't do math.
Unsightly mar in the
28.
paint.
28. So yeah, that base with the Sandcaster plus the I rolled crap damage too. Anywho, all right. So that resolves direct fire.
And now with the missiling and the point defending.
So point defense. So before any ship is rammed, it may attempt to use direct energy weapons and Sandcaster fire to point defense. Oh, Sandcaster is. Fire is allowed even if the weapons have already been fired in direct fire. Point defense fire is resolved like normal fire against a target, except that no range modifier is applied. A spacecraft may only use point defense fire against other spacecraft that are attempting to ram it in the current phase. Point defense may perform even against incoming spacecraft that are yet to be directed. Okay, each direct energy weapon may only fire once during this phase. If the gunner scores multiple hits, he may divide those hits among different targets rather than hitting the same target more than once. This requires subsequent targets to be no harder hit than the first. So, Armin, you are going to, I'm assuming, provide point defense fire. So,
We
I
got
need
three missiles.
6 missiles. So,
Right.
Armin, you get 2 shots at a plus.
I said you shoot
5.
once.
Yes. So you get a 1 shot at a +5. No. No. You get a +6 because the captain's saying, yeah, that's right.
Right.
So +6. So
What
one
about
roll
rate
at a
of
+6.
fire and accuracy?
You still get those. So she basically just wipes out all 6 missiles before they can get. Actually, hold on.
Woohoo!
Does she? What is the hit points on these? Hold 2 hit points with a. Do they have DR?
No.
No.
Probably.
They don't.
Probably not enough to do anything.
Oh, they have 4. So they do have 4 DR. But divided
You need to
by
do-
4. Yeah. She just needs minimum damage to destroy them. So Armin, you will.
You need to do 10 points of damage.
I'll try.
So go ahead and roll. That's 1. Next roll. Go ahead and roll damage again. That's 2.
How many am I doing?
You're doing 6. 3. 4. 5. And 6. So you guys vaporize all 6 missiles before they become a problem.
Go me.
Well done. Saved
Now
me
it's
a
their
lot of
turn.
work.
Alright, now it is their turn. So they only get a +2. But they have like 6 shots. Or 2 shots. 2 shots. Oh, that one will. You only had the 2 missiles? Yeah, they're going to vaporize your missiles.
Bastards.
So, we are now back into. Now you can launch another round of missiles, though. So we're back to that phase.
Which was the missile vector for?
Oh, I think I just removed your missile vector. I'm going to use a small missile for you. I know it's going to be 2, but hold on, give me a second.
Is the active one the pistol?
Yours was. That is your. That's your vector.
Yeah, our vector's a shield. Corsair 1 and Corsair 2 are labeled.
So that
Although I
must.
think they're in the wrong place.
Oh, pistol is the active 6. So hold on.
Okay, so it's the rifle that needs to go. And so it has.
Okay, there. That should. No. All right, so we're back into. So we're back to damage control. Or okay, point defense, missile launch. So there's no ramming, missile launches. Dawes will probably kick out 2 more missiles. So here's a question for you. This says 24 missiles per light missile array and 36 missiles per. But these are considered racks, though, right? Hello? What's the difference between a array and a rack?
I think the rack can fire bucket loads of missiles.
Yeah, arrays can fire bucket loads. It's the racks that fire single. So okay, all right. So you can kick out 2 missiles, and they can kick out 6. So they will do so. Okay, so what's happening isn't anyone necessarily firing. It's just the missiles are being, so missiles kind of happen on their own thing. Does that make sense?
So are we launching?
Yes, you will be launching. So I'm going to assume. I'll just know that yours is 2. They launch in the facing of you, or any facing, but they launch with a vector of.
Go ahead and switch off snap to grid. This will be a little easier.
Okay, how about that?
Nope, it's still on.
You need to switch it off, and then you need to plus the grid and then minus the grid. You got to do something that forces a redraw.
That?
Thanks, Gandalf.
That's fixed it.
Damn, that single is hard to grab.
Do you want a multi? I can throw another multi out there for you.
Don't worry about it right now. That's probably fine.
Zoom in. It's easy to grab then.
Yeah, so apparently, according to TIW, you have to manually run the missiles.
Yep.
Which is weird.
That is weird. I mean, this is supposed to be higher tech than we have, and we do not have to manually run our missiles. We've got computer guided, we've got optic guided.
Yes, but we could run a computer program, targeting program to do the job of a person.
Well, but that's just it. I mean, modern missiles are way more capable than this.
Far more.
Well, you could probably just call it a gunnery program too.
Well, but it isn't. I mean, it's built into the missile.
Yeah, just give it the gunnery program kind of thing.
Hell, even when Traveller was first written, we had active homing.
Yeah, predict.
Okay, launch docks, no, none of that. Damage control, you guys don't have anything to worry about.
They got jacked up though.
Oh, they did, but they actually rolled really well. But it's not really going to matter one way or the other. They're really goofed. Here you go. So,
Especially if their captain got shot in the face.
no, it was their pilot, but they double buck. So there's another pilot.
No, he didn't get shot in the face. He got hit in the vitals.
Yeah, he got like a hole burned through their screens, and
So when the laser burnt through the deck, it a bit of molten high speed, hull just went and burned its way right through him.
All right. So we were saying that the range for jamming is within 2 spaces.
Yeah.
So, give me a Iris. I will need a detect roll to detect the missile launches.
Preparing to detect missile launches. Detected.
You will successfully both detect the missiles and understand. You will know how many there are, and they are in fact missiles. That. Something else that you can do. Okay, so with missiles being back in play, Global will direct gunners to. Oh, you're not sure what he had you guys wanting to do. There was a little some confusion on his part. Ella, what would you like to try and enhance? Dodge, combat, or even reduce their ability to dodge by tactically moving maneuvers.
I would once again like to improve our dodge.
All right, so that is going to be a tactics roll, and you will succeed. So that will be
Damn.
another +3. So you're basically having, kind of plotting vectors and whatnot like that for Lee to follow to successfully outmaneuver shots and missiles.
Yep.
So,
Vargar missiles always approach from the right side, so we jog left.
comms, how are you?
I will
Patching.
attempt to jam Corsair One's transmissions,
Okay,
hoping to interrupt their communication.
Roger.
I can see it now.
I do not need to make a roll until they decide to try to break it.
I can see it now. The Varga captain's going, "Oh no! They're listing slightly to the right. We're screwed."
They know our maneuvers. All right, so
Actually, what is my default on EW, I wonder? Because it probably ain't going to be hard to beat me.
If I was to take a guess, I'd say it'd be communications -2.
So here's a question for you. For sensors, would you say that sensors has probably a good chance of possibly detecting weak spots or helping a missile target something?
I don't recall.
I don't know if you can do pinpoint attacks with missiles.
Okay, no worries. All right, so what we will do is we are now on to maneuvering. So slowest goes first. Here's where things get fun. So I push the dot where I'm at now, right? Or okay, he gets to choose his facing first.
Who's a what?
Yeah. So okay, so the slowest goes first in maneuvering. So Vargar 1 is going to turn facing.
So you turn the spaceship counter to face.
Okay, and he will accelerate another 3.
Right.
And 2 will remain on that facing and accelerate another 3.
You've also got to turn the vector counter to face the same way as...
It is? Okay, yep. Perfect. Wrong, dude.
He was, yeah.
He's going to end up having some interesting fun there. He's going to get slung. Nope, he won't actually quite hit that. It's only the ring's immediate circle or immediate spaces. So he will go there. And that leaves you guys to maneuver now.
Which we are continuing to accelerate, I presume. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
Easy peasy.
So it's just going to be missiles at you guys in the butt. Is really all they're going to be able to do. All right.
Yeah,
so
what
they're not going to be
in the
able
butt?
to catch us.
I should have had them start at 6 then. I see.
No, because if they had started at 6, they would have had a harder time getting turned back around.
They would have blown right past us.
Yeah. All right. So
You could, what is it? Setbacks. You can roll a random setback that because we're pushing the engines at 4G, something happens.
I don't think we want to do that right now.
Don't worry.
Maybe next time.
Honestly, this is just fine because it gets us to break a lot of the rust off. And now that I know how this is playing out, I actually meant to play this a little bit to see how it was going to play out before. But again, I didn't get a chance. So
we should have done a midweek test run.
Okay, so I might do this again later. But all right, so now missiles, the missiles.
Was it what?
So the missiles.
Right.
So missiles.
Okay, so who did we target? Probably 2 since we hadn't gotten any shots on
So you're gonna give me a jam, or you're gonna so you're gonna do 2's missiles, or you're gonna try and jam 1's missiles.
If we can. No, I was just dealing with the moving of our missile that we launched there, but
you're gonna outrun the missiles. Now, do missiles accelerate?
Yeah, at 8. There's no way we're outrunning them.
8 per turn.
Okay. So you're probably going to have another 6 missile, or you're going to have to deal with at least, depending on how your jamming does this round, because either they're going to maneuver or you're going to jam them. So
we're not going to catch them. Okay, well, we will attempt to jam Corsair 1's missiles.
Okay, give me a ECM roll.
And it's going to be at a -4, apparently. So chances are pretty slim.
If you succeed.
But who knows?
For each margin of success, it's 1 missile not listening. Ooh!
Holy shit! Oh.
Okay, hold on. Well, he's still got to. He still has to. It's still a contest.
That's true.
But his was less of a failure than yours by 1. He failed by 1. You failed by 2.
He has EW?
Yes. No. Actually, his is also a 10. So you're going to jam 3 of his missiles.
Excellent.
Because he failed by 3, you failed by 2. So actually, you're going to jam 5 of his missiles. Wait, no, difference of 1, right? Difference of 2. What is that? He failed by 3, you failed by 2. Margin difference of 1, right?
Yes.
So you'll jam 1 of his missiles, so it's down to 5.
Okay. So point defense.
Just for fun, someone should roll 2d6.
What, for hit location?
This is to see what a random malfunction would be.
Eddie, you have bad luck. Where are you? Roll 2d6.
Eddie, hand me that. Where are you?
Eddie's was on damage control and engineering.
Roll.
Yes. What is that?
So what is that? 7. A core system or non-system component has a malfunction. A core system is any spacecraft has 2 core systems. It also has other non-system components that might malfunction that are not explicitly assigned to systems. If this roll is rolled, roll 1d6 on the table below. So roll a d6, I'll do that.
Do you have the table?
It's in setbacks. Pyramid 103. 5. It's a non-system component.
The coffee maker. God damn it.
Non-system components. Roll a d6.
No, it's the refrigerator.
How
Yep.
could you
Could be.
possibly
It
bring
could
the
be
coffee
worse.
maker
Could be
in
worse.
a firefight?
It's the refrigerator because he tried to squeeze his ass in.
We are size modifier
Eddie.
9, correct?
Correct.
I think we. Right.
I'm going
It
to
is a
hit
safety
enter
system
on whatever
malfunction.
cat typed.
Safety systems such as fire suppression or emergency seals in a random system that contains occupants that is not armor cease to function properly until repaired. Add 2 to all rolls on the casualty table.
All right, so Buck, you picked a safety system, like an automated safety system, like fire suppression or something like that, that you had Eddie go and ensure was active. Auto sealing, it could be fire suppression, anything like that. Something that
Fire suppression sounds good.
Okay, so Eddie was sent to go ensure the fire suppression system was active. You kind of pushed a few buttons. It looked like it worked, and then something shorted out, and Buck.
The fire system activates.
Yeah.
Got a fire.
Yes. Everyone's system. Hank, you get a notification on your panel, and that there is a fire in the crew galley area. And shortly thereafter, you get a notification from the engineer, and Buck, you get this notification too that a fire is broken out in the crew galley. Ibrahim, you're probably close enough, being in the med bay. The fire klaxon goes off, and you're pretty certain it's just down the hall. So what's happening?
Does this ship
Whoops, didn't mean +8.
have
Damn
a
it.
ship's cat?
No,
I don't believe it
It
does.
doesn't have any pets.
That's bad luck. Ship's going to be crawling with rats. Space rats.
So Hank gets the Hank being calm, you will get the indicator. The primary engineer gets the indicator, and Buck, you will get your because you're plugged directly into the system diagnostics. You get the indicator. The three of you will get indications of a ship fire in the galley. Ibrahim being up in the second deck with nearby the klaxon of the second deck lights will start sounding that you have there's a potential fire up on that deck somewhere, or the lights will start
Not
to flash.
sure how if we've evacuated the app.
Yeah,
but
I'm
okay.
sorry. Yeah.
It's a false positive. It's a system malfunction. It says there's a fire, but there's not.
But well, if metal gets hot enough, it can ignite. So you did take do have indicators of a laser fire hitting the ship. You were hit. You just it didn't seem like anything at the time was.
So what's happened is
Okay.
a fuse blew or a circuit blew when Eddie turned it on, and as a result, the fire suppression system is reporting all these fires incorrectly, and when it comes to us actually getting hit, it's not going to do what it's supposed to do, which will result in extra casualties.
Correct. Right now, it's also indicating there is a current ongoing fire.
Well, before we got interrupted, we were in the middle of dealing with all the missile maneuvering.
Right, but this is 20 minutes, so this happened during within that 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that was 20 minutes real time. You never maneuvered the missiles.
Oh, true. I don't think they're going to be able to catch you this round. Well, at least missile
see.
missile 2 might if it accelerates. So it can accelerate up to 16. Oh yeah, it can reach you.
16.
Or accelerate 8. So you're only going to be 11 away. So missiles should get you. So Corsair missiles
What?
set. Okay, because that's Corsair missile 2 vector, right?
Uh-huh.
They could. So it's their turn to maneuver and where they want to be. So I haven't done that.
Okay.
So it's going to go there because it's only going to have to accelerate 2 to get 10 yards.
What? No. You're
As
you're getting ahead of yourself.
Okay,
That's
what
the
am I
vector. That's not the missile.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so what's going on?
You've only
Okay,
got
what
an
am I missing?
acceleration of 8.
Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. 1, 2. At least this round, they won't get you.
Right. Now the ones that just got launched, I guess, also can accelerate.
Yeah, they will accelerate, so they can maneuver and accelerate 8. So we'll just call it a -1 of those missiles. So you're only gonna have to deal with 5 of them.
Right. Okay, so that's them.
So really, you're gonna totally the Corsairs are gonna have a ridiculously hard time trying to catch up to you. Go ahead and maneuver your missile.
I already have.
Okay, is that its final position? Oh, okay, I see. Gotcha. I see. Okay, so we will just go directly to point defense because eventually they're gonna catch up with you one way or the other.
Well, we've got to do the movement phase first.
Okay, so movement.
So now we're officially doing the movement phase.
And this can happen all at once.
And I believe this is going to take us off the map. Yep.
Yeah. That's why I said we could probably, since none of the ships are going to be able to shoot at you, and you're not going to be able to shoot at any of them, the only thing that's going to be a threat to you guys is the continued missiles coming at you.
So that's down to our point defense and gunnery.
So you're going to have basically 6. Because it's all going to happen at one time, unfortunately. But you have 4 gunners with 2 shots from Dawes, 3 shots from Armin, 3 shots from Marco, and no, 2 shots from Marco. 2 from Armin, 2 from Marco, 2 from Easting, and 2
Where do you
from.
Get 2.
Because they
they have sand. You said
Sandcaster.
sand affects missiles.
That's true. 3. You're right.
I think it's also possible as one of the engineering maneuvers to get more out of your engines at the risk of exploding them.
Yeah, but you're not going to get 8 out of them.
No, I'm
not...
talking about for them.
Oh. No, that's not in
that's
not in the Traveller version. That's mentioned in one of the other ones.
It might be something where I throw that in there because I kind of like the idea. It gives everybody something to roll for, to either enhance everyone else's rolls or whatnot. Okay, so Armin, you've got missiles in. Armin, give me some rolls. I need 2 point defense rolls.
I thought you only got 1 point defense
that's
roll.
right. That's right. That's right. You only get one. So Armin, 1 point defense roll.
Where's that located?
Just roll once on the plasma, but you're going to get a plus.
+8.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, because it's what? 1, okay, +2
Rate
for
of
accuracy.
fire +4,
Yep.
+4 total because you got the Act 2 and the targeting 2. So +8.
So +8. Holy cow.
Is that right, or did I do it wrong?
No, I think you did it right. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't.
Is that for the missiles?
I don't know if you actually get the rate of fire bonus the way they talk about it.
There's no reason you wouldn't. Otherwise, you can't get more than one hit.
Well, it's considered basically 1 shot every minute. Is how one aimed shot every minute, basically.
You'll get the rate of fire bonus, but you won't get you won't have any range penalties, and you won't have a size modifier because missiles are size 0.
Right. So really, yeah, I guess that's
I
right.
suppose you might be able to take into consideration the speed.
Oh, okay, hold on. I see what's going on. You did a success by 11? Alright, so that would be with a rate of fire, with a recoil of 2, that's 6 shots, 6 hits. That's why you rolled off your skill, not off the gun itself. I see.
Sorry.
And how many total are there?
There are 11 of them, so there's still 5 remaining. Not anymore. They don't dodge. Alright, so...
If they're being actively controlled, I wonder why they couldn't.
One guy.
I would say because you are looking at a lag.
And you're
not
only
that
and
much.
Yeah, but he's also one guy trying to control 6 missiles. He's just kind of controlling them to one single point.
Well, you probably control them like a cloud, probably not individually.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought. They don't have any kind of, let's see, size mod, A-sig -6, so they're actually hard to detect. And they're stealth. Oof. So you guys easily outmaneuver, take out the missiles. They can no longer give chase because you're just constantly out accelerating them at this point. So eventually you make it to your jump point. And though you have indicators of a fire, you're going Buck, you realize that you're going to have to do some extensive repairs on the fire suppression system. You're not sure what happened, but it zorched itself pretty good. And you're kind of given that task as Eddie was under your charge at the time.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll put it right.
So Global will... Okay, so you'll eventually make it to the jump point. Where is your destination? I need a star map.
We never really discussed that, did we?
Because now you get a chance to. So now that there's, high stress environment is down, Global's like, okay, what was that all about? And where's Lorraine?
So we were attempting to get the system defense to give us a potential vector to where that ship was going and an ID.
There you go. There's some cinematics.
You know what I don't have? I don't think I have a sector map. Do I?
Didn't you?
I thought I did.
I thought you grabbed the same one. Yeah, I could swear you did.
Hold on, let me check. I'm looking in my
Star map? No,
No.
not that one.
Spinward Marchers. There it is. That's why I couldn't find it. I didn't know the name. Where are you, map? You are map. Battle map. Nope. Spinward Marchers.
Yeah. And now we have a counter we can actually use.
Share that with
Oh,
all
that's got all the old markers on it.
Yep. So I will go ahead and remove all those. Thought I would.
What's the jump on this thing? Is it just 2?
Jump 3.
X.
This ship is too much awesome.
There we go. So. Let me throw a token. Now, if I throw a token on there, are you able to, you guys, use it or no?
We can, as long as you don't do it from the tracker.
Gotcha. I really need to scale these down. I had them scaled at one point. That's not right.
Lock token scale.
You have to have a grid for that.
I think so.
Oh, yes, you do. Yeah.
I can fix that.
You can't put a grid on it, doesn't match.
Oh, it won't match?
No, the Fantasy Grounds grid, it's not exact.
Well, poop.
Maybe it's more exact.
I think when we were doing it, I made a smaller token.
Yeah, I was going to ask. There's probably no reason you can't shrink that down.
So were we able to get an idea about which direction the ship carrying Lorraine went?
What you understood was Corfu. The information that you have stolen from the laptop was there was an additional site they were inspecting or investigating at Corfu. What you can kind of gather is Kalamanaru was interfacing with some additionally corrupt government types to excavate some ruins, also that were found in the Corfu area.
I would not go that way. Eddie's going to make a suggestion. As we're all poring over the maps, we should jump to Kang and then to Heya and intercept them. Because we're awesome and have jump 3.
How much of a lead do they have, though?
Right now, you think they probably only have about, at most, 2 days.
So we're going to be weeks ahead of them. We're going to be in Heya in 2 weeks, and they could be
2 weeks,
depending on what if they got jump 2 or something like that. Then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks before they get to Heya. if they're jump 3 capable, then they'll get there just ahead of us.
Okay. How does everybody else feel about that plan?
Do we think they are jump 3? I mean,
Well, we were
let's see.
attempting to get an ID on the ship.
Okay, stand by. I have that. It was a.
If we could get, because they were landed on the planet at some point, yeah.
The ship never landed. It was kind of the same kind of deal. They tracked a ship to a surface to orbit ship that and it jumped out. It was a oh my goodness. It's not. I think it's a far trader. I think this is. It's similar to what you guys have, but
jump 2.
that's what that one is.
Standard far traders jump 2, so yeah. We can head them off by weeks.
Yeah, that's a good position.
Presuming it is a standard far trader.
Let's see. Kang
Well,
is
is it
gonna
or isn't
suck.
it?
Just
Heya
some
has
travel
the
history.
D-class.
That's why the Terrans won the Interstellar Wars, because they invented jump 6.
Yeah.
Where the Villani didn't.
They had jump 4.
No, but that
And-
doesn't generally affect this particular timeline, correct?
No, not at all.
Is that accurate with the? It's not amber zone. That's red zone on the Corfu.
It is an amber zone. It is a. I think it is at least an amber zone. There was 2 issues with it. One, there's a disease, I believe, that's rampant on the planet. But I think there's also the system is is kind of in that we don't want to play nice with anyone right now, so kind of stay away.
Well, red zone means it's interdicted, so you're not allowed to go there at all. But I'll check the Traveller library, and see what it says about it.
Because I think I did the same, so I don't think it's. I think it's something along those lines. Because it depends on the date and timeline. Hold on a second. Let's see. New
Well,
era.
the map could also be out of date. The GM can just say this is a red zone or this is an amber zone.
Are we going by the GURPS Traveller timeline?
It is an interdicted world because of the virulent pathogen. Yeah, that's kind of yes. It is. I was using that as a feature to that particular world.
So totally restricted.
That didn't work.
Oh no. Okay, it is raised to an. It is an amber zone because they do have a vaccine, and the interdiction was raised to an amber zone. So unless you have a real good reason to be there, they're not going to just let you.
There's the description.
Yep, that's right. That's what I was kind of reading to. Now, I don't have the doctor's name or anything, but.
Okay, well, looks like the most likely spot that we're going to be able to
Damn
bypass
it.
any of our gear is going to be Heya.
Everyone there's going to have autism.
Why?
Is they're vaccinating. Didn't you know vaccines cause autism?
Not all vaccines.
I know too many doctors to think that's funny.
It's because it's a hyperbole that makes it funny.
Hyperbole.
So, if that happened in 1117,
Well, they didn't raise the interdiction level till 19, so 2 years ago.
1117 or 117?
Aren't you guys 1121, right?
That's the year. Yeah, if they raised the interdiction level in 19, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, but they're still probably keeping people from.
So it's an amber zone, it's not red.
Yeah, it's amber. It's not red. Darn it. Okay, so you will get to. They are prepped and ready to go, so you will make the jump. Can I get a nav space roll from somebody?
Did
No problem.
Buck fix the fire suppression system?
Buck, you can give me a maintenance or mechanic.
Maintenance starship.
Mechanic starship.
Mechanic
Yeah,
starship.
mechanic starship.
You will have 2 additional individuals to help. Marco will definitely assist in. Well, you'll have 1 to assist that will make his roll.
It's probably just
No,
a bad sensor.
I disregard their help. I don't want their help.
Okay.
I'm going to ask them to hand me things, and I'm going to do things my way.
Okay.
Eddie will be he'll be saying he had nothing to do with the stuff malfunctioning, something blew in the circuit.
Margin crit success.
And you will definitely make that thing, like, it takes you no time at all to repair and replace the system.
He finds something else that was really bad, wrong in there with the fire suppression system, and he fixes it too.
He finds the reason why it broke.
Or, my suggestion is that my 2 assistants should have the opportunity to assume or to gain mechanic starship at no cost.
So, Eddie, if you wish to buy Mechanic Starship for watching, you can burn a point into it. The other guys already have.
No, I mean by not burning a point. I mean, you could take Mechanic Starship at level 1 without 1 point.
Well, what I mean is they've already got it. Eddie doesn't have it.
Eddie doesn't.
So, yes.
I would say that would be the case if that was a teaching role.
Let's see what you're saying. I'll give you a teaching roll. See if you can default the teaching roll. I'll give it to Eddie.
Oh, okay. So what is teaching to IQ?
You can default to teaching
Probably
roll. Eddie
5.
will gain a free point in mechanics.
You could assume 5 until you find out otherwise.
So IQ minus 5 for teaching. Oh, sorry, dude.
Yep, minus 5.
What is a? Okay, yeah, that will work. Okay, yeah. Eddie, you will be able to spend points into it without any problems, but you won't gain an immediate auto point. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
He still uses words that are a little bigger than you to describe things. Like the what? I understand what you did, or I saw what you did and it made sense, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
The wiggling shaft and the wobbling knob, I just don't.
Each week that we're in jump, the GM should make the spacecraft's make a roll on the spacecraft's health -3. A failure indicates a potential malfunction.
Isn't that countered by proper maintenance?
We've actually already had that discussion a long time ago.
Yeah.
So is it countered by proper maintenance?
Proper maintenance means you get health.
Okay, health, straight health.
Without proper maintenance, the health is lower.
And that's
Yeah, so
each week or each?
Every week.
Okay, so you guys have no issues during this particular jump other than the fire suppression system having issues. So you will reach in Kang.
And we're gonna be gas gianting it here because they got diddly shit on land.
Let's see. What is the distance to the gas giant?
Well, we're just gonna jump in at the gas giant.
Okay, so it'll take you. I think I have you guys refill in approximately hours. I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, I think it was gonna be like half a day to do the refuel and process, and probably another day or two in and out of the 100D limit on the gas giant.
Yeah, that's right, because it takes you 10 hours to do 12 D tons per hour for a total of 10 hours to fuel and process. So oh yeah, for those who do like judo, like I know you guys like to do the spend time judoing. Anyone that faces Armin quickly realizes, holy cow, she's strong for her size.
So she is the Renner Gracie of our group.
She's actually just as strong as when I got manhandled by an industrial robot.
Yeah, she's, I think, effective strength of 15 for all purposes other than if you try and throw her. So she's light and, you know, she can get tossed around, but when she punches or grabs or holds or anything like that, it's like, holy cow. All right. So 1 week to Kang, you guys will do that. That's takes you what? 2 days. So 2 days to clear, half day to fuel. Because you can't jump into it well, right?
I think that's how it works.
So
No,
you'll still have to take a. You can?
No, you can't.
Okay, so
Anytime you go near a gravity or within the 100 diameter limit, you are propagated out of jump.
okay, so what was that? 2 days to get to the giant, 1 half day to fill, 2 days out, right? Sound about right?
It's probably fair.
Okay, so
There's a thing somewhere for the 100D time
yeah,
to go.
it's
Trying to remember where the hell that was.
thought it was an interstellar war. Because I saw something in there that discussed the trying to jump while in a well, but I don't think I said distance.
I don't mean that. I mean time to transit from orbit to 100D.
Oh,
Just break out the regular Traveller, even if it's 35 or 30.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
you're.
What G are we? We're
Ah,
4?
okay, here we go.
11 hours.
Yeah, you're 4. Okay, so 11 hours. So 11 hours
Yeah.
in. So 11 hours in. 10 hours there, so that's a day. So it'll take you about a day and a half to transit in, fuel,
Yep.
and transit out. So that's 1 week. Give me a was it D plus was it? It's 7 days minus D or something like that for how long jump takes.
Oh, that was D3
So
plus
we-
5?
So someone throw me a D6. So 6 days. So it takes you 6 days, and it takes you 6 days in jump. It'll take you 1.5 days to fuel and prepare for the next jump. So, somebody give me a health 12 check for the ship.
It's health minus 3.
Is it always health minus 3?
Yep.
Made it.
Made it. Then I will need a navigator roll, please. It's a pretty routine, so you guys will make that without any issues, as you're not trying to navigate under fire. And give me another D6 for duration, or D3. So it'll take you 5 days on the second jump to cover the Heya, and then probably 11 hours to get to the planet. So arrive Heya. Approximately 13 days later. A Class B starport.
It's a rich planet.
Is it?
Well, according to Utsig, anyway.
Oh yeah, good facilities, medium, wet worlds, representative. Okay, so
So, hypothetically speaking, could there be shore leave on this planet?
Oh, there's going to be shore leave.
oh, I need some rolls for Hank.
You're assuming there isn't something available on the Pilgrim that he can use.
He's stuck using like an old style like PlayStation 4 or a Vivo just to get his fix on.
But he will be out of sorts until we get there.
Give me a willpower roll. Let's see just how out of sorts he is.
Oh God.
He's all good. He's got it under control.
Technically,
I'm
that's
fine.
just so you know, that's technically supposed to be per day. Yeah, because I think it's at 21 days or something. There is a point where you can start getting rid of it.
Yeah, if he makes the roll 14 in a row, I think.
Yeah, 14
he actually
times in a
beats
row.
it.
And he no longer has to keep it as a addiction.
So I'm assuming he's failed at least once in there.
Okay, so at least once, so you'll have at least
It just means he'll have a 1 point's worth of quirk temporarily until he gets his fix. Which means he's going to be kind of irritating.
Yeah, but you still have to roll again once you get your fix to see if it's a permanent quirk.
Is it? I don't remember that.
Yeah, there is. Once you finally make your fix. Now, I think, again, I'm sure the doc can probably sedate you under certain circumstances.
I don't see why that would be necessary.
We're just gonna put Hank in the low berth until we make it there, just so he doesn't like wig out on us.
But it's all a simulation, Doc. It's all a simulation.
You're not real. None of you are real.
If it's not Hank's idea, you're gonna have to fight.
Right. Okay, so hey,
Death had to sneak up on Hank, for he knew that if he was awake, there would be a fight. Withdrawal.
It's a tech level 6 world.
Well, not the starport.
let's see. How easy is it for you to find? If you're a level tech 6 world, how proliferate, how prevalent is VR kind of stuff?
Not at all. It's tech level 6. The starport is not tech. The starport is not tech level 6.
Right. I agree with you. But how prevalent would VR be even at a starport for something available?
It would be very expensive.
You shut up.
So expensive.
Wouldn't the Star Town be tech level 11?
Well, that's what I mean.
The Star Town would be current.
But I mean, how easy is it to pick up a VR deck at a Star Town that's
market?
It shouldn't be that hard. It's just computer gear.
I think the Star Town is one tech level lower than, or one tech level above the planetary average.
Above, not below.
Yeah, but the issue there though is so would it be the Star Town like proper, like obviously the control points and all that would be at tech 11 for ships in and out, but I mean surely there's got to be people that live in and around that are still tech 11. I mean the admin control they're not going to hire tech 7 guys to run land ships right?
No, the staff would be the correct tech level, but the stuff that you can get is of limited tech.
That depends on who you ask.
You'd be trying to trade directly with people in the starport.
Because the starport requires locals to work in it. I mean, there are waiters, table cleaners, garbage collectors, all kinds of people who have to be drawn from the local populace.
I'll find out exactly what it is.
Yeah, well, I can understand like the individuals inside the starport that are like the low level like workers generally just being exposed to it all, but may not. But one of the things I find kind of awkward with the way they do things is how do you, if you're on the planet and the lion's share of technology is at level 7, how do you reconcile that with a starport that's very obviously Tech 11? I mean, the people on it could be a
Well,
mix.
who runs the starport?
Well, Imperium. Because you're not going to have...
So there you go.
The way I see it, it's like an Air Force base in friggin' Saudi Arabia.
Right. But
so
I mean, that's
yeah,
what I mean
you're gonna have some locals that work there, but that doesn't change the tech situation for the Air Force.
Right, but at the same time, they're gonna have limited shopping for just their own functionaries mostly, and most everything is going to be like a special order for them. So
probably.
So that's why I'm thinking it's going to be very hard to find a VR deck that's just sitting around ready for someone to sell, because if you get one,
I don't understand.
Well, think of it this way.
I don't understand why not.
Well, okay. So if I'm a vendor on a Tech 11 level starport, and I stock VR gear, the only people that are going to buy it are the people there. So I'm going to run out of stuff. If it's a hot commodity, it's going to run out of stock, and it's going to take a while to restock, because I'm not going to hold a lot in.
But the people who are bringing it in are traveling out as fast as the people who are coming in want to buy it.
Right. So, but that's what I mean is, so it's not going to be easy. It's not like somebody's just going to have a stock of them selling them. I mean, if you have somebody that wants one, they'll probably put a special order out. So whenever somebody arrives and says, "Hey, I just happen to have VR gear," it's going to be a one-to-one transaction, not some dude just holding a bunch.
So probably down to a dice roll of who has the upper hand economically, which is how we do it.
How would you do that? What would that be? Just a
merchant.
Universe roll or merchant?
No, it's merchant.
Okay, so now
why would it be merchant?
Well, because you're trying to buy.
Or is it? Well,
yeah, but that's got no effect on what's available.
Would it be search or scrounge, or would it be something else?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Streetwise,
scrounge could count in this case if it came down to that, but that generally means it's not actually what I need. It's what I can.
Merchant would be the skill that you use, because you're not necessarily buying from a store. You might be, eBaying it or asking around and finding someone that has one. Stuff like that.
Well, would it? But would that be so? Would
Okay,
merchant rolls?
Let's back off here a minute. This isn't all about the VR. We got a lot of shit to buy.
Yeah, there's also going to be a lot of other tech stuff that you guys are wanting to buy, I'm assuming, as well. So monocrisps are, I think, anyone that had space armor that might have been lost, or anything like that. So there is. I'm just I'm using your VR as an example, but there's also going to be some other stuff too. So what we could do is, where's that chart that has consumables or like who's it? What commodities are available?
Okay, I really don't want to do this right now.
Well, that's fine. I mean, we're already at 8:35, so I'm just trying to figure out what the best way to go about saying that it's there. Or
this is something that needs to happen offline.
That's fine. But what I don't want to happen though is as a single a roll, and you guys aren't going to get anything. You know what I mean?
Well,
so I don't think that's fair.
If we take the week to figure it out, we can figure out the right way to do it. Because there is a right way to do it.
Eddie's just going to look for a jacket.
His is
and
easy.
use cell phone.
And
You can go into the Starport gift shop and find a jacket.
And I would even say,
It's got to be the right
terminals
jacket.
are just like are a dime a dozen, because you just have to reset your terminal to. It might take a little bit to resync to the galactic network or whatever, or so your bank accounts might be hard to reach until you can link it to a local bank, but.
This is a B-class starport, so banking should not be too difficult here.
So yeah, I wouldn't assume that anything like that is particularly difficult. I think of that most of that kind of stuff being as once you can prove your identity, they basically just secure a hand terminal for you, like a personal cell phone PDA, all in one kind of thing. And that kind of acts as your credit card, bank access, etc., ID. May not be X-Boat connected, but I'm sure that they probably pass that kind of data back and forth on a semi-random basis. I do wonder how that works. Do you guys? How does a scenario where you end up in a planet that has no way of paying money, like 7? You don't have credit cards in 7.
Imperial credits. Physical cash.
Trade goods.
Well, trade goods, but I didn't know cash was one thing that you could also trade. So.
Yeah, Imperial credits are a thing because communications take a week.
Yeah, Imperial credits are a plastic currency. They contain microchips, which are uniquely identified. Scams happen, but not often.
Ah, okay. So you probably have like a small minor vault on the ship or safe. Everyone carries it.
Probably pretty standard.
All right. So, hey,
Now, since we knew that they were Jump 2, or at least suspected strongly that they were, we could probably figure out what their route is. Or did we do that already?
Well, what you guys know is Corfu was their destination. So, you're pretty. You suspect highly that Corfu is their destination for sure.
It looks to me like 5 jumps is going to be the minimum for Jump 2.
What is the max jump available in this time frame?
6, I think.
6.
Okay.
Jump 6 is the Imperial maximum.
I suppose you could have prototype higher jump.
X-boats are jump 6.
Ah.
Yeah, so it's going to be at least 5 weeks, maybe more like 6 before they get here. It took us 2 weeks and some change to get here, so 4 more? 3 to 4 more weeks. So we could have an extended stay here, or we could jump ahead to Corfu. Or a combination of the two. But unless they take the scenic route, they're going to have to come through Haya.
find it interesting that ships in the ISW have like jump 2 with 4 parsec. Oh, 4 parsec range means they can refuel. They have extra fuel. Never mind. I understood. I figured it out just as I was thinking. So
I'm kind of leaning in the same direction as Abe. We should probably go ahead and head over and see this done. Just on the off chance that they actually do have higher than jump 2.
Well, we got an ID on the ship, so while we're here, we can check to see if they have been here.
You have class of ship. You don't have a.
Well, close enough. There will be a fair amount of traffic to come through, but we can probably do it.
Now, so what are you? What information are you particularly looking to? Because
to know if they've already been here, so that we can know if we can hang out here and wait for them, or if we should go ahead and move on.
If they had jump 3, they would have been here before us.
But the only okay, so if you're looking to see if you won't know a particular ship has made it here, because you won't have any transponder information for them.
How have we not recorded their transponder information?
Because you weren't anywhere near them to get that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have the class. Did we have anything more than that?
Class. That's all you were able to derive from the information that you were still being kind of jammed until you got a little further away. Or actually, you weren't able to communicate with it much. But all Global was able to say was, they lit off chasing a ship, but he didn't know that he needed to gather any more information off of it, and he was on planet side at the time. So basically, all he got was the rumor that, hey, why are you guys, why is the system patrol boat leaving the area? And it was kind of we had a far trader decide to try and sneak people on or off the planet, so we sent the ship after them.
There is an Imperial patrol permanently stationed in Haya. So I can guarantee any ships coming in and out of the system will have been pinged. So maybe we can do some social engineering and see if we can get that information.
That is a possibility.
So there's really nothing over at Corfu, right? Like, if we went over there, we'd be literally just kind of twiddling our thumbs on the ship while we wait.
Well, the professor will tell you that he is aware of where the site is, but if you get, getting there early only puts you guys there early, and then you still have to, And Global will tell you we'd still have to deal with the amber zone kind of issues, and we'd have to have a good excuse to, well, land planet side.
And how long is that going to take?
Well, we can always sneak in if we wanted to, but if we just snuck in, we'd just be sitting on the surface somewhere with our thumbs up our butts, as you kind of alluded to. You would know that waiting here, you could wait to see if the ship comes in. As Eddie said, you could probably do some social engineering, and if a ship that matches a similar description shows up, you might be able to get somebody to contact you, say, hey, we had a ship matching this description show up in the area. So that's another way you could do it.
And Eddie will also mention we need to get our shots. I ain't going to Corfu if it's plague ridden.
You're fine. That was 2 years ago. You've kept up with your inoculations, right?
Not for Corfu.
Something Eddie would also something that Eddie might know, being the more, and I think anyone that's got you made the ridiculously awesome check against what was that skill? It was not scoundrel. It was streetwise. So you had some extensive, more additional knowledge on Calamandro. Things that you would know. He primarily works out of Aramax, which I think I may have mentioned before, but he works in the Aramis system. A lot of his stuff.
Wait, who?
Calamandro, the
who is that?
Dude. He's the kingpin that was Bryn's boss. So the
bad guy.
The head bad guy. Bryn was the woman that basically, along with here, hold on, I'll throw faces to help you guys out.
Yeah, none of this is ringing a bell.
Hold on, no worries. I hope to throw some.
So what do these guys, like the Kingpin, have in relation to whether or not we land here or do whatever Eddie's suggesting?
Okay, so that's Calamandro. That's the big boss dude. Bryn, works for him. She was the one that kind of, with the assistance of Terran, captured you. So between the two of them, they were working together. Bryn is the enforcer to Calamandro. Terran is kind of just heavy muscle working with Bryn. What you would know, based on what you can derive from both the professor, Eddie's knowledge, that Calamandro, being what he does, he works in the Aramis sector. Sometimes spreads out into Regina, Valinor, and all those kinds of things. And you suspect the reason that the Vargar were involved was because, well, Calamandro also works with Vargar Corsairs. Nothing that's people can generally tie directly, but people highly suspect that he uses them for pirating.
So we're thinking Calamandro is behind all the stuff that happened where we came from?
You're pretty certain. You don't just suspect, you're pretty certain that overall he's involved with everything, because everyone that you've encountered works directly for him. Bryn almost basically just said that leave this searching alone, because Calamandro is more interested in you guys are, and he's willing to put the hurt on you guys if you don't stop looking for whatever treasures that can be found. Calamanaru operates out of Aramax, which is on the big thing here.
Plus, look at him. He looks like a smug bastard.
So it's but he has merchant vessels that operate all throughout Aramis predominantly. He's interested in whatever's going on here. At Corfu. Does that help?
Kind of.
So, if the ship that you're looking for is heading to Corfu, obviously, well, you suspect it's a jump 2 based on the type class. But, there's nothing that you would be able to generally act on. But it could, they may not be going directly there. They could be any number of routes they could take. Corfu is definitely their objective because they want Lorraine to basically find whatever it is that they're looking for in Corfu that the professor couldn't find at Focalon.
Okay. All right, so back on where the planet that we're on now. Heya.
So you're at Heya kind of as a stopgap because you suspect that eventually they're going to have to cut through Heya if they're still using Jump 2 to get to Corfu. You are, at best case, you're 3 weeks ahead of them.
Unless they are jump 3 and then we're behind them.
Then you're only days behind them.
Or possibly days in front of them.
That's
because
true.
It's plus or minus 10%.
Yeah, so you could even be you're right. That's absolutely true because you guys did roll below average travel. Well, I guess you go, below average. Your average is 6. You guys you were 1 day earlier than the average transit time. So the only issue you would have going to Corfu is you wouldn't know where to start to look, and you'd have to deal with any, you could sneak onto the planet, you can even just sneak and hang out and just sit silent until somebody shows up that matches the description and see what they do.
Well, you said a few minutes ago that the professor kind of knows where whatever it is they're looking for is on Corfu, right?
Correct.
So we could just get him to show us where to go.
He could
and get there first and get the treasures.
Or at least get you to, basically at least in the right area without, and then hope that they either show up or are already there, that kind of thing.
Getting there first sounds good.
The biggest issue you have at Heya is to resupply your lost gear.
All right.
So depending on how long you want to spend on Heya to try and either catch gear in and around, or something I just thought of that I don't know if this. If you suspect them to only be listed at jump 2, something to consider, and I'm just throwing, is you can hit Keynorb. I think that's had a higher tech and much greater chances of finding all the gear, and still get back and meet them within the same, and catch them as they arrive or just as they depart Heya.
So what class of starport are we at now?
A B, but again, the average tech level there at Heya is only 7.
Actually, well, no, that would be an extra jump. No, we could cut that. Oh, God, no, I'm looking. Sorry. I got 2 different routes put up there. Ignore me.
Oh.
No, I was going to say that that Keynorb is a little weird because there's apparently 2 Keynorbs.
What?
Yeah, because there's another one in, it's not Regina Sector, it's Lanth? No, Reelinor.
Yeah, actually, you'd still be a week ahead if you do the jump to Keynorb head back.
Brillinor is where we are now.
No, Reelinor is below where we are now.
So they are 5 jumps away to get to Heya. You're 2 jumps away. If you do Keynorb and back, that would put you at 4 jumps.
Well, I guess that
And you
depends
have
on
better
what we
chance
can.
of getting your gear or
That
restocking.
depends on what we can get at Heya, and what we end up deciding we need at Corfu, because we could do some research on Corfu while we're here. Being a lot closer, we'll get a lot more recent news.
What?
Eddie will raise his hand and say, yeah, like inoculations.
What the professor will say is the information he has regarding Corfu and the sites there were kind of more... he kind of looks at you like, well, you know how we were in a jungle? Well, this is more of a desert. Not that the planet's a desert, but the area that we're going.
Okay, well, do we want to try Heya and see what we can get here first, and then go to Keynorb and fill in what's left, and then come back and head straight to Corfu? Or do we want to go to Keynorb and just get everything there?
Eddie will shrug. He says, I'm not too fussed either way. Just need to get myself a new jacket and phone.
You'll be able to easily pick that up at Heya Starport. You'll probably just step into a bank or wherever, and they'll be able to verify your identity, and boom, you'll walk out with a new phone, terminal, and then picking up a leather jacket. It's super easy.
Hey, you can get a local jacket.
Yep.
I
Probably
can
made
get TL6. Actual leather.
It's not that fake stuff. This is real hide.
Okay, well, it sounds like the main person who's going to have issues with re-gearing up is Hank. So what does Hank think about this? Does he want to go to Keynorb so he can do all his VR stuff?
It depends on what I can find here.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is let's try here first, then go to Keynorb if you can't find what you need, and then we'll come back.
Make
Is
it
that
easy.
correct?
Give me a scrounge check. We'll make it easy particularly just for the VR stuff.
Would you like an assist?
I really don't want to do that. I haven't even sorted out what exactly I'm missing right now.
anything that's not your moniker, anything. That's why I asked at the beginning. Annotate
I
what you
know,
are
and
bringing.
I haven't sorted it out.
So, Buck has known Hank for a long time. Does he know what is missing?
Maybe the VR goggles that he's drawn on his face.
It might be the
give it away.
goggles, it might be the software, it might be, I don't know.
It would be the.
Does Buck know?
For the. As I understand it, all Hank would need to do is buy a new computer, VR gear, and the software to go with it. What exact software? I'm not too worried about that.
Is Buck aware
I
of that?
don't want to do this right now.
Right.
All right.
So what I'm asking is, does Buck know what Hank needs?
So Buck is asking the GM, does he know what Hank needs?
That's what I'm misunderstanding what Daniel's having issue with, because
he doesn't want to do it right now.
Hank does not want to handle this right now. Buck is asking the GM.
Okay, give me a scroll. Yeah, the only thing that I'm going to go work scrounging for a possible VR set that will. All right, you find something that will, at least in the interim, possibly sate Hank's VR cravings.
All right, Buck
not
will
much,
acquire that
but
by whatever means, and it will just appear in Hank's bunk.
Right. So the one thing that will keep Hank from losing his mind is back in Hank's. Hank finds it in his room. It's not much, but
Are we going to land here, or are we not going to land here?
All right. So since that's taken care of, then Hank, Daniel can work offline what all Hank needs to deal with and get back to y'all on the forums with, okay, this is what I need to work out, and we can deal with it later. So yes, we are going to land at Hea, and we are going to gear back up with whatever we can get here that will see us through on Corfu. And then after Corfu's done and we get all the professor and Lorraine, whatever mess straightened out, then we can go gear back up properly. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
I like it.
Good. Make it so. Eddie, while we're on down there, go do your nosing around with the Imperial things and try not to get arrested, and find us out if they've been through here, okay?
Consider it done.
Very good.
So I will take a carousing roll or whatever other roll you think is appropriate to make contacts within the starport. Whatever if you feel something is better suited, I'll take that. Otherwise, it'll take us just a straight carousing. Unless you're going with more underworldy type people than a streetwise.
One moment. I thought Eddie built up carousing. Oh, 15. Alright, so Eddie will start in the starports because there'll be Imperial officers that are, on shore leave or, spending some downtime in the bars and stuff. So Eddie will carouse.
Alright. You successfully make some friends with. Give me someone that you're looking for. You'll successfully make friends with whoever. Give me a starport role of somebody. Flight control, dock master, customs, anything like that.
It'll be flight control because flight control will have access to logs of ship contacts.
All right. So you make a couple friends with a success of 5. You make some pretty good friends. They think you're a pretty cool dude. They like hanging out with you, especially since you bought them drinks on the ship's dime.
Eddie is relieved that it was on the ship's dime. So, so Eddie will, after some time, will, broach the question. Is saying that, there's a ship that, we kind of want to know if they've come through here or not, and it fits this description. So Eddie will rattle off the approximate tonnage, any other details that we have, the hull type, if it's got a particular design style. It looked like a V-dub model ship.
All right. You'll get that. They'll say, well, these kinds of ship come through, but if we see anything, we'll go ahead and just start, give us your email or your terminal address, and we'll just funnel you anything that matches that description.
Sweet. That's awesome. There'll be a few extra drinks on me if you come up with something. Has there been anything come through in the last couple of days?
They'll send you a list that you guys can go through, and as best they can, they'll give you owner operator kind of data, but nothing more than that. But they said they can pull a database and send it to you because you're such a swell guy.
Sweet.
But we'll go ahead and say that data will come to you once you arrive back at the ship, and we'll use that as research information for the start of next session.
And just cause Eddie's also going to partake in some simpler pleasures.
And he will find those willing. In fact, it's the female, that flight person that's passing you data.
Sweet.
5-0.
Can we be unlucky and she actually has the core flu?
That he's already been burned by his unluckiness already once this session.
Darn.
Anybody's.
Alas. That or the next time you guys come through, he gets it's like, hey, so
Eddie uses space Trojans.
Space Trojans. All right.
But he's unlucky.
Really? He doesn't seem like the type.
You got a bad batch.
All right, so we'll go ahead and call it there. We'll give Daniel some opportunities to figure out how he wants to go about restocking his gear, and we'll call it for the evening. We'll give
All right. So should I
Standard.
end the stream here, or are we going to do points? Points.
We'll go ahead and do your standard 2 points, and that's all I've got for this evening.
Well, that worked out.
We need to have another space combat now that we're a little bit more familiar.
Yeah.
Before we lose it again.
Right. Oh, I fully. Well, don't worry.
Consider the spaceships version because there's a lot more to do.
And I'm as I kind of look through it, there is a lot in there, but I think there's some things that probably don't correlate very well, like some of the sensor stuff, because as Daniel was saying, there's like the military or the tactical comms versus the multi-sensor, that kind of stuff. So.
User disconnected from your channel.
But I do like a lot more of the roles that are available, and some of the additional features that you can do it.
All right. Well, I will end the stream here.
Sounds good.
User joined your channel.